So I was watching Maisel on Prime Video, and one comedian...
everything. It was just like a instant click in my head.
If you mention them in a tweet, they retweet it, they'll respond to it, they'll talk to you. Like, it's not just like a bot. Like,
I really like what they do for our veterans that are involved in our with our veterans.
I mean, I don't see anyone else with what they're doing. That no one else has a content library like they do.
They were kind of crude and funny, and they kind of like messed around with it a little bit, and I was like, I feel at home here.
I looked at, you could go into Twitch and see the channel analytics. There's a decent percentage that comes from GetWetSports.
Nice.
So GetWet has definitely helped me with that.
Hi there, what are you doing? Anyways, welcome to Get Wet Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? Everybody doing good? I hope everybody's doing good. Yeah, talking about pools, and yeah, I think maybe by July we might be able to open ours up, because we got chances of rain all this week, chances of rain all next week. So I don't know when it's going to get to the point to where we can actually use our pool, but I think I'm going to try to work on it this weekend. So hope everybody else is having a good day. Hope everybody's Tuesday is awesome. Anyways, welcome to Get Wet Sports. If you all don't know what Get Wet Sports is, for the first time, if you've ever been here, we are a online creator directory library, however you want to say it. But basically, we house tons and tons of creators in our pages of our website, to where you can go to one place and pick out somebody you want to watch. I call it making friends. We all need to make new friends. This is how you can make new friends. Go find you a creator that you enjoy. They're all alphabetized A through Z, and the numbers are also in their own little special one-click category that you can go through. People that have stuff in the middle, starting of their name, like hashtags or stuff that doesn't start with a letter. Anyways, we have those added in there as well. We also have specialty pages like our military, which we're celebrating this month, our pride members, which we're celebrating this month. We also have women in gaming, and of course our Gold Club member, our premium members. We have them on a separate page. Poppy, let's go. How you doing? Welcome to Get Wet. But anyways, that's what Get Wet is in a nutshell. If you want to see more, I've almost got my setup almost all the way done. So one of these days we'll be able to just hit a button and go. I need to get me a new stream deck. But if you'd like to find out more about what the library is, just click that link right there. It'll take you to the website. We are having some slowdowns on the website right now because we got a big event going on. We've got the Pride. We've got the Pride contest going for the best, or you guys pick it. You guys pick the creator you feel that deserves recognition. So you might run into a little bit of slowdowns. Also, I was just informed today that I guess on this Thursday, if you guys want to jump in the Discord, if you guys are not part of the Discord yet, they are going to be having jump in the Discord, get in there, and Ms. Murder will get you all set up in there. If not, somebody else will get you all set up to where I guess we're going to be doing a kind of like a viewing, kind of like a hangout. In one of the channels, more about that will be put in the Discord about where it's going to be. But anyways, I guess the Summer Game Fest, we're going to try to hang out, watch it in the Discord, and talk and interact and make new friends. But anyways, we got a bunch of people we added to the library this week. And I'm going to apologize right now like I do every week. I'm sorry if I murder your name. I'm really bad at the license plate game, and that's what I feel like a bunch of these some of these or some of the Twitter handles are. But first off, we have Okami Hyla, Rick and Rod TV, Winters US, K. The God, Archean Meow, Prodixums, I'm sorry. I am bad at names. I am old. I have that privilege. I'm probably the oldest one on staff, so I have that privilege of let's see. Aaron Wafu 12, Fritz Galen, Blizz Bear, Luke Launcher. I said we have a lot. Mr. Get Wet was actually busy over the Sunday putting these all in here. Soy Milk, Alarin, Shania TV, Ghoulie Ghoul, Walala, Walla Twitch, Leoniverse, Buzzy Kings, Uzi Win, Blueberry, I like that one. Official Shay Fox, I know him. He's a pretty good dude, so make sure you guys go follow him and check his content out. He's a pretty cool dude. I've known him for some time. I'm glad he's over here. Shy Bit Hot. 51 Nighthawk and Antonio Big Sauce. Welcome to the library. It's pretty cool. We have that was a lot. Usually we run about 10 to 15. That was quite a mouthful tonight. Anyways, welcome to the library. Like I said, if you guys want to check out premium, you can go to that link up there where it says supply. There's a link up there that says, to go and check out the website, and there's a apply button there to go apply for premium. Premium is $30 a year. Gets you a bunch of special little ins and outs of being part of the Gold Club member. You get your Twitch page embedded into a specialized premium page. You get your links. Anytime you tweet, as long as you tag GetWetSports, we try to get you retweeted out as soon as possible. So that means that when you go lives, if you have any special events or anything like that, you want to have us a part of. And we are working on other things coming down the road to try to get things in there, but also make sure you join the Discord too, because there's going to be a lot of perks for premium members in the Discord as we move on with building this huge community. But anyways, tonight, what we do on Get Wet Tuesday for the podcast or the talk show side of it is we bring on creators from the directory itself. Right now, tonight, we are doing ThumperBoyAD. The man himself is in the chat right now. If you don't know who he is, make sure you go follow him or go watch him. And if you like if you like his content, which I know you're going to, go give him a watch and a follow and say hi the next time he's online, or you can come in tonight and chat with us and say hi tonight and make a new friend. That is my philosophy from now on out. We're making friends. But I think it looks like we're about ready. You guys all about ready? Anytime throughout, I want to say one thing too. Anytime throughout the conversation, you're allowed to type in questions and stuff like that. So if you find out, if we touch on something you want to ask further, don't hesitate to put questions into the chat. One of us will see them. But I'm excited about this. So let me get over here. I think my mic is muted to Discord. Hey, can you hear me? Hello?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I think hello. No.
Hello.
Okay. We're gonna bounce over to the other scene. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions or whatsoever, don't hesitate to ask in the chat. Also, if you guys are in Discord, I have Discord pulled up. If you guys want to chat in there where it says ask your questions, that works just as well too. Anyways, I think we're gonna go on. Make sure I'm gonna see if I ain't gonna touch my stream deck because it will mess it up. Anyways, let's see if this works. Are you going to be using your camera tonight?
Yeah, I planned on it.
Okay, just checking. I know I thought it was checked, but sometimes people change their mind towards the end, so I was double checking.
Just let me know when.
All right, whenever you're ready, let's go. Bow, bow, bow. Oh, I knew that wasn't going to work right because I needed to do that, and it still didn't work right. Hang on. Got to reposition. I don't know why I did that. Oh, wow. It really pushed it off to the side.
Wow.
Some days it works. Some days it don't. I don't understand. Yeah, because it shouldn't have done anything from the last one because I haven't touched it since. But Sorry, I'll get you stretched out here. We'll get you stretched out and put in place. There we go. How's that look? That looks a lot better. I'm using two different cameras. I got a camera that goes into Discord and a camera goes into this one because for some reason this camera does not like Discord. So I
Right.
bounced over to another camera. So anyways, I get shit out of the way so I can actually see you. Had to rearrange my setup a little bit to make it more comfortable, and I got stuff everywhere. So, how are you?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Just taking it one day at a time, you know.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. So, anyways, I'm gonna let you run the show for a little bit. Tell us who you are, where you stream, and all that good jazz.
Okay. My name's ThumperBoy. I'll take this other one out. It's hard to hear. My name's ThumperBoy. My first name's Rick, so you can call me ThumperBoy or Rick or, you know, anything that's kind and not hurtful or mean.
Exactly.
But I stream from Missouri. I'm a Show Me State resident. I've been here most of my life, except for the years I was in the military. Uh, and that's a short and skinny on that. What else would you like to know?
Um, what you say you just stream on Twitch? That's all you stream on?
Yeah, I stream on Twitch. I used to put videos up on YouTube, and I'm headed back in that direction again as well. I just haven't gotten back to that yet. Um, I used to do some content creation in collaboration with another friend of mine, and we kind of got because the group we were with kind of sort of disbanded. We're kind of like low on numbers and haven't really gotten back around to it yet. So we're working on that though.
Oh, I totally understand that. Yeah. So, what got you into content creating?
Well, a lot of it had to do with a friend of mine, my buddy Texas. I'm going to call him Texas Commando, but he goes by Texas Wolver or TX Wolverines now. Um, I had watched a lot of his content, his videos on YouTube, and he was really into video editing and stuff like that. And he'd made some really cool music videos using game footage, and I really kind of got a kick out of it. I liked it. And I had another friend of mine who was making silly videos and putting them up. So I was like, you know, I really want to get into that. So um, myself and Texas Wolverines started. We played a lot together, and we had another friend of ours that played with us, and we would take the footage from that and then cut it together, take the funny parts out, and then like do like a check out our funny video, kind of thing, and it became like uh, almost a daily process for a little while because we had so much fun, um, giving each other crap and playing games and having so many good experiences. It was just like a content smorgasbord, if you will.
No, it's always good. Especially, it's always good to start this out, especially if you know people already in the industry or the setting and stuff like that. It makes it a lot easier to start. So I'm sorry. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this off and on for the past 8 years, I think.
8 years. Wow, 8 years.
Yeah, I never really kept up with it. There was a couple of times where, um, I'd get things would get stale, and I'd be like, okay, I got to take a break, and I'd take a year or two off. It was never anything I really got into for like to make money or make a career out of. It was more or less just a hobby for fun.
Yeah. What's up, Walt? So I don't know. I know a lot of people say that to start. Say they do it just for because I do it. I do it for a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, are you maybe down the road wanting this to be a career? Or I know it says, you said something earlier when we talked that, it wasn't you weren't trying to make it like a priority to be a career. So
Right.
do you think now that you enjoy it being a hobby, do you think if it became a career that some things might change, like the way you feel about it?
Well, it's possible. Anything's possible. I mean, I enjoy what I do. And I like to think that what I do has some kind of positive impact on the world.
Mm.
Nothing as grand as like world peace or anything like that, but at least put a smile on somebody's face. Uh, but anything's possible. I mean, I think it asked something like that in the questionnaire last night, and I said, it's not necessarily a goal, but if it happens, great, and then if it doesn't, I had a fun ride.
Yeah. But you've been doing this for 8 years. I mean, it's just like, I mean, if I don't know, I look at it right now as it's like I enjoy doing it. It's kind of
Mhm.
like, people always ask me, says, how come you don't? Because we used to go to Colorado quite a bit when I was way back when, and people go, why don't you just move here? You're always up here, and it's just like because I don't want to miss out on the grandeur of seeing the mountains all the time. The awe that you see from the first time every time you go up there. That's kind of the way I look at doing this.
Right.
Is that you got the same feeling? It's just like
Yeah, that's probably got a lot to do with it too. Because I mean, like my wife loves Florida. She loves to go to the beach, but I think if we lived there every day, after a while, she'd be like, you know what? Let's go to Missouri because we never see that place anymore. It's really great there.
yeah,
So, uh, yeah, I mean, it's possible to lose its luster. But the same thing. Like I think the first time I actually took significant amount of time off, I took like a year and a half off once, and there was one of my viewers. He'd ask me every once in a while on Twitter, "When are you coming back? When are you coming back?" And I'm like, I don't know if I am coming back. I just. But when I did, he was like, "Oh man, I'm so glad you're back." And that just made my day because I was missed. So
yeah,
I made somebody happy,
yeah,
and that makes me happy.
yeah. And as long as you make one person happy, it just makes everything worthwhile, right?
Right, right.
So I've been noticing your backdrop. You have 5 games back there that I grew up on.
Yeah.
Do they all work?
Oh yeah. Every one of them work. There's one arcade one ups you get at Walmart or whatever.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, I
Wow, I didn't realize they were
uh
that big.
the first one I got was the Miss Pac-Man. My wife got me that for Christmas, and which I was kind of shocked by. I knew she was like she'd asked me about it, uh, and I had just gotten out of the hospital from having COVID and the gallbladder
Mm.
surgery. And this is back in 2020, and she come home one day. She's like, "Don't look under the blanket in the garage." And I'm like, "What's under the blanket in the garage?" So I went out there and I just kind of glanced out at the blanket and I was like, "That's a big box. I think I know what that is." And then I just kind of collected the rest along the way.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, yeah, those are a lot bigger than what I thought they were. What they look like at the stores. So, um,
Right.
yeah, and I remember my days of both Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. It's funny.
Oh
I
yeah.
I found something on Steam not too long ago that has all of the classic retro games on it, and
Right.
I found out I still suck at Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I still
Miss
can't.
Pac-Man is my favorite. I think out of the two Pac-Man games, I like Miss Pac-Man just a little bit better.
Yeah, if there was stock back then in Miss Pac-Man, I think I owned probably at least 10, 15 shares of it back when I was growing up.
Yeah, I
But
put probably 15,000 quarters in it. I'm sure.
um, so you also said you were in the military too.
It's in the Air Force for
In the,
7 years.
in the Air Force for 7 years. What'd you do there? If you're able to talk about it.
I was a general purpose auto mechanic. I did a lot of different things. Worked on cars. I run the battery shop. I run the tire shop. Um, and of course, I got to go. I went to Saudi 3 times. Did 3 tours to Saudi, and twice to Dahran. The last time I went to Prince Sultan.
Oh wow,
So
was it
very
a?
cool.
Did you go over there during all the conflict? The major conflict, or was it just?
I came in on the tail end of the first time I went over. I was like, I think it was like, what operation was that? I think it was a Desert Shield. I think it
Okay.
was the first one. And then I came in on the tail end of Vigilant Warrior. and then the last time I went over was about a year after that terrorist went on to Kobar Towers and blew that fuel truck up and took out half one of the towers.
Oh wow.
Yep.
Dang.
And that happened a month after I left from Vigilant Warrior.
Oh wow.
Yep. So, talk about making it real,
Yeah. So did you see any of the conflict while you're over there, or I mean, was you
I did not.
okay?
Yeah, I came very close. My last tour over there, Prince Sultan, um, President Clinton was pushing Saddam to let us in to look at his stockpiles and make sure he didn't have anything going on that wasn't supposed to be going on, and he wasn't letting us in. And so, I mean, I worked the location where we worked was right across the street from the flight line. So we were sitting there watching the F-15s do the elephant walk around the taxiways, just waiting for the word to, go to war.
Oh wow.
And I just got my plane tickets when that happened to go home. So it's like, you might not be going home. So,
Oh man.
but it never came down to that. Thank goodness.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your service, by the way. So
No.
I appreciate
It's just- Go ahead.
I've had 3 brothers that in it. My dad was in the Marine Corps, and I've had 3 brothers all in the Army. And I know my dad, I'm kind of, people sit there and think I'm lying a lot of times when I said my dad was stationed at Pendleton when Pearl Harbor was attacked.
Wow.
So his unit was actually getting ready to be deployed to Pearl Harbor when there was an accident at Pendleton that injured 6 of the Marines, and he was one of the 6. So I think it was when they were trying to get everything, because everybody was in a rush and everything else, that they were trying to get everything going. And there was something that happened, and 6 of the soldiers got injured, and he was one of them. So they sent those 6 home. So he didn't get to actually see the war, but he was kind of like you with a circling. He's almost there.
Yeah. My father was in the Korean War. He was a supply driver between the MASH units.
Oh wow.
And he actually took some shrapnel while he was over there, but he was never seriously hurt.
Yeah. It's crazy how, it's just crazy. War is crazy.
Yes, it is.
But so when you got back, I mean, what are some of your, I don't know why I said that. What are some of your go-to games that you like to play?
Oh boy. There's so many. My current lineup, what I'm streaming right now, is Sea of Thieves Flight Simulator and Sniper Elite 5.
Yeah.
Which just came out and is freaking awesome. But like, my the game I can always go to when absolutely nothing else sounds good is Orcs Must Die 2 or 3.
Okay.
There's something satisfying about relieving an orc of his right to live, because they don't deserve it. I don't believe in orc Obamacare. I don't. So, I've repealed it, and now I'm sending those bastards back to the hell they came from.
I like that.
And it's such a good time because the physics of the game, you set up all these traps, and the physics of the game just make it worthwhile. So, like you see him get thrown up in the air and then smacked up against the wall, and just seeing the ragdoll effects on it, it's just like, I just sit back and watch and just shed tears of joy as they, bleed out and die. Sounds pretty demented, but I'm kind of a demented guy.
I was gonna say, I think in this line of work, you got to be a little demented to be entertaining sometimes.
Yeah.
So I know.
And to put up with some of the crap you put up with,
Yeah, no doubt. So, on the Sniper Elite 5, how are you enjoying that? I mean, have you played any of the other Sniper?
I've played them all.
You played them all?
I've loved every one. And this one is really, really cool. one thing I didn't realize about this particular Sniper Elite when I got it is there's an option, like if you're playing co-op or even if you're playing by yourself, there's an option for somebody to come in and invade your game and play as an Axis against you.
Really?
Yep. And I was streaming it last night, and we had the same guy drop in on us 3 different times. And he dropped in, and we saw him, and we tagged him, and we thought we had him dead, and it turned out we didn't. So he got us, and then he came back again, and he got us again. But the third time he come back in, and my buddy put down a trap, like a teller mine, and we were chugging along and going over. Next thing we know, we got this notification. Boom! He died from the teller mine. You know, and we were all cool about it. But I guess I got up this morning and I called my buddy, Texas Wolverines, and he was like, "Yeah, man," he said, "I got a message on Xbox from that guy. He said to go F myself and that I was fat." I was like, salty much?
Oh my gosh. So is that something in the game, or is that just a hack or a
No, that's something in the game. That's something you could do in the game. It's a feature.
Oh, so they give people a chance to troll you. Huh?
Yeah. You know, I mean, you could turn that off if you want to. But after seeing that last night, heck no, I wouldn't play it any other way, you know? It's just like, you know, Sea of Thieves. A lot of people complain about Sea of Thieves because, you know, well, we need a PvE server. It's not fair because these other guys can come in and take our stuff. Well, yes, they're pirates.
Yeah.
You know, you can't play a pirate game and be shocked when a pirate comes along, sinks you, and takes your stuff. That's part of the job. You know, that's like being shocked when a politician lies to you. It makes no sense.
What's up, Chadley? You want those arcade cabinets? I know we were just talking about those.
You can come over. We can play a few rounds. No quarters. So.
Wow. Yeah. I guess like I said, I think it was like Sniper Elite 3. I played that one, and then I mean I liked it, but it was just one of those things. Other things got in the way, and I totally forgot. I think I still have it on my Xbox somewhere on the app, but no, I was gonna get this one here, and it's just like I couldn't believe it. It's like, what is it, like $60? I think
60?
I think, yeah, I think it's what it.
I think I paid 50 for mine.
Maybe it was 50. Maybe it was 39. 39. That's what it was. But it's just like, because the last one I bought, I think it was only like 15 or $20. You know, but you know, I think that was like, that's been a while since they've updated this game. So, but I've been watching everybody play it, and it's like, oh, I really want to get into that game.
This one is quite a bit. They did a lot to this one. In like in the past Sniper Elite, you could get your weapons and stuff, and that was it. You know, you can unlock weapons, and that was it. And they took a cue from one of their other games this time, Zombie Army 4 Dead War, where you could go in and actually upgrade your weapons.
Okay. Add
attachments, take away attachments, swap things out. And you could do that in this one now, which really, really helps out a lot. But the addition of invasion is just, you know, I wasn't sure how I felt about it until last night. And then last night, when I saw that, I was like, this is just so cool, because now not only do you have to worry about the AI, but if you have to worry about this other guy too. And if you shoot at the other guy, then the AI can trigger on you and come looking for you, and vice versa. You know, if you shoot at the AI, the other guy can hear you and come looking for you. So
how many people can drop in it? How many people can? Is it just one person that can drop in on you, or is
I think more than one at a I think they can go 1 for 1. So like if you got 2 people on your team, 2 people can drop in. I'm not sure about that though, but that's because I think we had 2 people in there last night.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. That sounds pretty cool. Because I mean, you just like find an open server and just jump into them. Is that? I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
It's kind of like when you're playing COD and you forget to take off the open lobbies, and people just start randomly jumping into your lobby. It's like, who are you? I feel bad when I got to kick them because I don't know who they are. But but so do you play a lot of COD too?
I played the multiplayer not the multiplayer, the single player portions more than I played the multiplayer portions. I had some guys that I was playing multiplayer with pretty regularly. One of them's in GetWetSports. His name's Eric T.
Okay.
Um, and he's also the tournament director over at GG's.tv. I'd get on with him and his buddy Evil J, and we would play a lot. Well, for a while, and we got pretty good. We weren't so much good at Warzone, but we got real good at what's that one where you got the two convoys. I want to say delivery, but that's not it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think that was a
We got
mode.
so good at that. We'd stomp them in their tracks and lock them down, and that was it. It was all over for them. We would just decimate them. That was so much fun.
Have you seen any of the new stuff about the new Call of Duty or the Modern Warfare that's coming out?
Modern Warfare 2. I haven't seen much about it. I'm if the single player is good, I might pick it up, but the last couple of single players for COD just wasn't all that great to me.
No. I've already made the decision. I know there's a bunch of other of us too that I know Chad he won't pick up either. He's installed all of them off his computer. But I'm not gonna buy anything else. It'll have to be given to me unless I just happen to have one too many drinks one night when we're playing. I accidentally hit the buy button. But they've been asked. Yeah, I'm just kind of scared that I don't want to spend another $60 on a game that's just gonna be broke like the rest of them.
Right, and I'm certainly not getting the next Battlefield game. Not pre-launch anyway. I am so furious with EA. Not just over that, but I mean the last couple of things. Like they promised they were going to fix up Anthem. So like an idiot, I was like, okay, well I won't get rid of it. I'll hang on to it because they're going to fix it up. And then they were like, 2 years later, they're like, screw you guys, we're going home.
Yeah, I remember Anthem. Anthem was like, because Anthem came out about the same time Apex did, and
right,
because Anthem was like a go-to game. That's what everybody was playing.
Oh yeah.
So it was just like, oh, it was cool, this and that. So I downloaded it and it's like, all right, let's play this game. And then it's just like, it's you just got into it and then they quit updating it and they just kind of left it to die. And then Apex came out and took it over and it just really died.
Right.
Yeah, as I think I looked on Twitch the other day, we were looking at old games and stuff like that we used to play. And I think it had like 10 viewers. 10 people were playing it. It's like, oh yeah, that one really did die.
A slow death.
Yeah, trusting EA was the first mistake. Yeah,
that's absolutely true. I mean, it's like, surely they won't screw up again.
Yeah, I had never played Battlefield. I downloaded the Battlefield 42, and I played it for probably about a couple weeks, and then I haven't picked it back up since.
I was just so aggravated. And what sucked about that is, honestly, I think the beta was better than the launch product. I had fun with the beta. And this seems to be an ongoing thing with EA and Battlefield games. They'll launch a beta and it'll be like, all right. And then they'll fix it up. And then you get it and you're like, this isn't what I played. Why isn't it fun anymore? It sucks.
Yeah.
So, I think the last Battlefield game I really, really liked and enjoyed was probably Battlefield 3.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't.
I enjoyed that one. Me and my friends played the crap out of that.
Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of games that I had just picked up between Battlefield, Madden, Anthem, all them games. They just shit the bed. Yeah, you forgot about Automod.
Yeah.
I probably need to make you mod. That way you can. Well, he's a mod in my channels, in my other two channels, so.
Right.
But no, yeah, and Madden I can't play anyways because I'm not. I don't know. I just never could get into sports games. Have you gotten into sports games like Madden or MLB and?
I've gotten into sports games in the non-traditional sense. Like, I like Blood Bowl and Mutant League Football, and they're sports games, but they're not traditional sports games.
Yeah.
There was one there was one used to play on a PC with a friend of mine, and I just absolutely loved it. It was Mike Ditka's Ultimate Football, I think is what it was,
Okay.
for the PC, and it was an EA title as well, I believe. And you would go in, you'd create your team, and you would set your plays, and you would just pick whatever play you wanted your ads to play, and then it would just simulate it for you. And wow, we spent way too many nights and got in so much trouble staying up. This is in the Air Force, first duty station, Minot, North Dakota. My buddy Mark Jansen, when he first got his PC, we stayed up like till the wee hours of the morning playing that freaking thing, and I remember showing up at church the following Sunday. You know, they were, where were you at? It was like, we were up late night playing football games on the PC. Oops. You know, and then we got into another outside of video games. We actually played games that weren't on any kind of computer. But we got into this game called Blood Bowl, the board game, the actual.
Oh, okay.
And it had like this styrofoam field with the big skull in the center, and it was so cool because you could go in and you could do sneaky fouls, or you could do blatant fouls and do all this other stuff. And they had all these crazy teams like the Gouged Eye and the the Orc, or the Dwarf Giants, and the Chaos All Stars, and it was just it's so crazy. But we'd stay up to the wee hours of the morning playing that as well, and it's good times. I miss my friends in the military.
I just miss board games. I remember playing. It's just like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I grew up on board games. That's all I played was like Monopoly and
right.
Operation, and the most unforgiving game ever, Operation.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that would make you. I don't know. I think Operation would send you to the nut farm half the time than it would anything else. But
especially if you had somebody there with you, you know, because if you ever had like one of your buddies right there next to you, and you're trying to get one of the pieces out, and he's sitting there going, you're like, I will shoot you in the face. Leave me alone.
Yeah, you could play them online, but it just does not have the same effect. If you've never played Operation with your hands shaking trying to get that one thing out of there, so you get, especially like, what was it, the funny bone? I always buzzed on the funny bone.
Mine was the rubber band.
Oh.
Freaking rubber band. I just
yeah, I know you can play just about any of the board games online now. It just makes it, I don't know, it's not the same.
Right.
You know, it's just like when I was trying to play Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man on that computer program, or that computer games for retro or whatever. It just wasn't the same, you know. You're used to sitting there jerking that controller or that joystick around everywhere.
Yeah, exactly right.
So, what was one of the first consoles that you played on?
First consoles I played on. I mean, aside from the Pong, the many different variations of Pong, where it was just, you know, you had the two dials and that was it. Aside from that, the first console I ever got was the Sears and Roebuck version of the Intellivision.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
My favorite one. And then it came with Poker and Blackjack, and then I got like Space Armada, I think, and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep. I remember
Loved
that
it.
one.
Everybody was like, well, I've got an Atari. It's so much better. I'm like, yeah, I can tell by the flicker, guys. Come on. So, but I love that thing. I had so much fun with that. And I wish, I wish I would have kept it, you know, but
yeah, I wish I would have kept my old, because I mean, I got a hand-me-down Atari is what I got, but it was an original Atari, so I was like, man, I really kicked myself in the butt for I don't even remember what happened to it.
Right.
You know, but I had like a big shoebox full of games and stuff like that in there and stuff. But yeah, I miss those old games. But so what was your game? Did you play Atari? What was your game on Atari that you ever played?
My favorite game on Atari was probably Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Yep. It's probably the most advanced game on Atari 2. That one and Adventure.
Yeah.
Adventure. That's what it was. But yeah, the Raiders of the Lost Ark, you actually had to use 2 controllers for that, which was kind of weird for a game on Atari.
Yeah. I know mine was.
And nobody shoot me here. I liked E.T.
E.T. was cool, man.
I loved the E.T. game. Everybody complained about it. And I never knew what had happened, that was the game that brought Atari down back then,
Yeah.
you know. But then I was, I grow up and I'm like, what? That was the worst game ever? It sucked? What? What are you talking about? It killed Atari? You're kidding me, you know?
Yeah, no.
And but I played right through it the first time. I was like, oh, this is cool. Yay, I finished it like 15 minutes.
Did you see that? Speaking of ET, did you see that documentary where they dug up that old landfill and found all of those old ET games?
Yep.
I was like amazed. I think out of all those that they picked up, I think they only could salvage like a few of them. But
right,
it's like, yeah, they just when they found they were going bankrupt, they just put them all into the back of a dump truck and took them out to a landfill and dug a pit and buried them. Between ET and Atari's wannabe version of Pac-Man. Yep. Yeah.
Atari's version of Pac-Man was abysmal. Well, the one for the 2600 anyway. If you got the one that was for their computer systems, that wasn't too bad. It was the same as the one that they put out for the Intellivision, the one on the computer systems. It looked exactly the same. But the one for the 2600, it sucked. I hated it.
Yeah. Did you ever mess around with the Tandy 5000? I think what it was, that computer.
No, I had a Commodore 64.
Commodore 64.
I got that for Christmas one year.
So yeah, I wanted a Commodore 64, and my mom found the Tandy when the Tandys came out.
Right.
And if you all don't know what the Tandy, I think it was called the Tandy 5000, but if you all don't know what the Tandy 5000 is, just watch Sheldon. Sheldon has the TV show Sheldon. He brings back the Tandy 5000. Yeah, it was a pretty cool, except for this was just like, I think, a miniature version of it, but it's just a keyboard that you plugged into your back of your TV. That's where computer programming came about, just people buying those things. And I wished I would have learned more. I'd have probably been doing a lot more than what I am now. So,
right.
It's one of those things that's like, it'll never take off.
Right.
Look where we're at now.
The more you know.
It's like, that was my mom's thing. She goes, here, this will keep you busy, but, and then everybody's, it's just like gaming now. It's like everybody says, oh, you game for a living or you do this for a living. And it's like, oh, yeah, it's fun. Still trying to find somebody that has owned a Magnavox Odyssey. I had a buddy that owned one.
Yeah, that Odyssey was awesome because it had the keyboard with it, and then you could, I think they had some blank cartridges you could go in and program your own games and stuff. A friend of mine had one. He showed it to me once, and it was really amazing in comparison to some of these other consoles.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually wasn't that like one of the very first consoles was the Odyssey?
Yeah.
I think that's what we ended up looking at one time when we were bored. Psycho Girl, thank you for the follow. Hi, how are you?
Psycho Girl.
Welcome to Get Wet Sports, that is. Oh, hi. But thank you for the follow. Thank you for being here. Sorry, there's no like fancy alerts or anything on here. And we haven't become that sophisticated yet.
Yep, and I can't go Girls Gone Wild on you, so you'll probably get in trouble for that.
We finally got the emotes and everything put on, but that's about as far as we've gotten.
That's a start.
Yeah. It's a lot longer than what people think. It's like, oh, just throw it together. It's like, no, you don't want to just throw it together.
You can't. Yeah, oh no.
Well, the most important thing is you're here now. It doesn't matter why you never. But it doesn't matter. You might have followed in the beginning, and Twitch could have dumped you. They dumped me on a lot of channels, and I don't know why. Because I know I'm always refollowing people. I think it was the Purge they had that one time.
Yeah.
I think if you weren't active in the channel, I think whatever they used to purged you out.
Yep. They booted you.
But that was one of the things I told, because gaming program. Yeah, because Chad's a coder, a programmer. He went to school for that. But no, we're glad you're here now. That's the most important part. So what do you do in your spare time when you're not doing gaming or content creating?
I'm usually fine tuning my skills on the grill.
Ooh,
I am an accomplished grill master in my own mind. So, being a fat guy, I mean, I do feel I have some kind of expertise when it comes to food.
no, yeah, I know the feeling.
I also like to do some RC boating.
Oh,
So I have a few small RC boats here that I go out from time to time. You just take the kids out with me; they like to do it as well. So,
see, that's one
and
thing
then
I
I'm
always thought was
into
cool.
aquarium fish and stuff like that.
Yeah. I always thought RC boating was cool. Those and the big RC planes.
Right.
I can't believe I didn't realize that people actually made like airports for them.
Oh yeah.
Because we have like 2 out in our neighborhoods around us. We've got 2 out here, and I'm like, it's an RC airport. That's cool. But yeah, they have flying competitions and everything else during the summers. And it's like, wow, I'm like way out of the loop. And I think they ever do the boat. I think they have RC boating competitions down here too. Because I think we're neighbors. I live in Oklahoma, so. But yeah, RCs are cool. I love RC cars.
Yep.
Did you ever get into the trains and stuff like that?
No, I thought about it. I actually worked for a factory that made all the accessories for the model railroads and stuff,
Oh, really?
and and also the pine cars for the Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was really cool the stuff they did. They actually get these little. They get imported from overseas these for like their trees and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a little branch off a tree, but it looks like a little bitty pine tree. And then you go in and you'd spray glue all over it, and then you'd spray this felt, you'd toss this felt, you'd roll it in felt is what it would come out. It'd look like an evergreen tree,
Oh,
and then of
wow.
course they made all the stuff like for water and water effects, uh, the the landscaping and all that stuff. It was really, really neat.
Yeah. No,
And
that stuff always amazes me.
yep.
Because I pulled up onto, because I work for a building trade company, so I deliver lumber to everybody. And there was one guy that we were delivering stuff to, and he kept talking about this train depot that he was building, and I'm like, I thought he was like actually building a real train depot somewhere. And he's like, no, come look. And I walk into his garage, and it's just like tracks everywhere and cars everywhere, and it's like, oh my gosh.
Yep. They created all them buildings too.
Yeah. So when you're not, like I said, when you're not gaming, so do you get into like the boat racing and stuff like that?
Not so much boat racing, not yet anyway.
Not yet.
I'm wanting to go a little bigger than what I'm doing. But I think if I was going to get into boat racing, I would probably have to travel to get to anywhere. There's nothing really around here immediate that has the size of bodies of water that would support that. Uh, Plus, most of them are regulated by the state around here, and they frown on you doing that. So
Yeah,
it's like you could hurt somebody. I'm like, it's a battery powered boat, dude. Come on.
So there's one thing I've been noticing too. Is that a Fuddruckers shirt you got on?
It's a Fuddpuckers shirt.
Fuddpuckers. Okay.
Yeah, from Fuddpuckers restaurant in Fort Walton Beach, Florida.
Oh, okay. We used to have a Fuddruckers up here, so that's why it was.
We have those in Branson.
Do you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, ours closed down here. I don't know why.
I'd heard that the restaurant hadn't been doing as well. We went there a while back. The kids and the wife's like, that wasn't that great, and I was like, I liked it. I thought it was great, man. But you do you.
Yeah. No, I thought ours up here a couple times we went. I mean, it was a little pricey, but I think the food was cool. I don't know why. I mean, they got hit right there in the middle of. I know when everything got shut down. I know they got hit pretty hard, but
Right.
I think it was everybody. Um, Especially with some of the restaurants. It's amazing how some of the restaurants that popped up like right before have still made it through. Because I know there's a few
Right.
of them down here in the Tulsa area that has popped up, right pre, and then struggled to get through. And then now that, of course, they stuck it out and now they're like making bank. So tell us a little bit about your community. What do you do for your community, and what does your community do for you when it comes to streaming?
Uh, you know, it's like I said in the thing last night. We're just kind of a family, and we just take care of each other. You know, we try to encourage others. We try to support others as much as possible. We're very uplifting. We try to, like I said last night in the thing. It's we live, we laugh, we love. And that's really the heart of what what guess I would say I'm trying to push with my streaming. I uh, you look at today's world, and it's like, man, you don't want to look at today's world. It's like every day, it's people look for a reason to see the glass half empty.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to see that. Well, maybe it's half full. Uh, yeah, there's clouds outside, but you can still see the sun. So we encourage each other. We try to build each other up. We try to inspire each other. And others too. We're a very inviting community. Uh, we're always very accepting of other people. And not everybody thinks the same way, believes the same way, does the same things, plays the same games. But we realize at the heart of everything, we're all gamers. We all have the same desire, to have a good time, to feel good, to be loved and to be accepted. So that's really the heart of what we do, you
So
know.
I think there needs to be more. That's a good philosophy to live by. I do believe. I
Yeah,
know.
I think so.
I try. Sometimes our community gets or my community gets a little rambunctious. But so is
Oh, and
there?
that goes to anybody's community does that.
I know there's sometimes especially if we got a good night going where we're all talking and people jump in, they're like, "What did I come into?"
Yeah.
But so, I know you wrote in here. One of the questions was, tell a funny story,
Oh.
during creating content. But I was reading that. Why don't I'll let you read? I'll let you tell this story. So basically, what I do
Okay.
is I ask them in the questionnaires. I tell them to tell a funny story about what they've experienced in content creating since they've been doing this. So
This one was a little bit difficult to answer because I have so many. And they're all usually centered around the same person. The person in question, I'm going to call him Zer because that's what he kind of goes by. Uh, and we have funny stories about him in Battlefield 3, in Serious Sam 3. What's that other one we did? Oh, Colonial Marines. I mean, just so many. But the one I mentioned last night is he's a very filthy mouthed guy. I mean, he get mad, and it cracks me up. We'd be playing Battlefield 3, and he'll be kicking butt, doing great, you know, high, kill death ratio. I mean, he just, and still be complaining that, like, oh my gosh, can you believe that guy? F that guy and F you. And could you believe that? Oh, I can't believe, he just go on and on and on and just lose his ever loving mind, you know. And after a very heated match of Battlefield 3, I was telling my buddy Texas Wolverines, I was like, you know what? I'm like, we really need to take some of this footage that we always record, and we need to like put it together and see just how many times he, cusses, during a match. And maybe do like a little counter where it would be like one ding, you know?
Yep.
And he's like, yeah, we should do that, you know? So we had played one night, and I wasn't expecting it to be that soon, but my buddy Texas, he'd recorded it, and I'd recorded some too. And the next day I come home, he's like, hey, Rick, check this out. So he sends me the link to this YouTube video, and sure enough, it was our previous match. He'd put it all together, complete with the little body count thing. Ding, 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 every time. And it was so crazy because he was just like losing his mind. Freaking RPG! God damn it! I can't believe you! I think at the end of this like 10-minute clip, he'd like blown his stack like 27 times.
Oh wow.
And just it's like it was so crazy. But that's just like one of the many nights that we had, you know. There was another night I was playing Colonial Marines with myself and him and a friend of ours across the pond, and the game had some serious blocking issues. You know, like some of the things in order to get around them, like in these tight hallways, you know, if it was just out a little too much, you couldn't get around it. So we were playing Bug Hunt, and Bug Hunt is kind of like this. I don't know if you ever played the alien infestation mode from I think what was it, Call of Duty Ghost.
No, I never played Ghost.
But it's kind of like zombies. You got so much money, and then you could buy ammo and weapons to do things. So anyway,
Okay.
and unlock different areas. So we were trying to get enough money to get into operations, and we just ended around, and we were like, oh, how much money has everybody got? And he's like, oh, I got 17,000. I'm like, go open operations, you know? So he charged down the hall to go open operations, and we set this automatic turret down to take care of the aliens, any aliens that come by. So he goes down there and he like opens the door to operations, and just as soon as he opens operations, okay, it's oh shit, you know, and he turns around and charges back down the hall. He's like, I want my mommy, I want my mommy, I want my mommy. And then as closer he gets, he realizes the sentry's in the way. He's like, move the sentry, move the sentry, move the sentry. You see this line of aliens just charging down on him, and it was so hilarious. We just had so much fun with that. And but yeah, I mean, it was moments like that that made me want to go from like just uploading to YouTube to like, okay, we got to start streaming this, because if people see this, they're gonna laugh their butt off and just love it to death, you know.
Yeah.
And that was another you know, determining factor. And it's like, okay, we got to take this live now, because it's just you know, it's too good.
It's too good to pass up for just recording.
Right.
So have you tried like Hover and stuff like that? Do you put up stuff up on Hover or other? No.
I have enough fun trying to keep up with everything I'm on now. You know, Instagram, GG's, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And then to add something else to it, I think I would have a mental breakdown.
It's a lot when people get into content creating. It's a lot. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I've made a TikTok account, but basically more or less just to follow other people on there, you know. If I ever did anything TikTok, you know, my daughter would have to help me with that. She loves TikTok, you know. It's like,
yeah.
But you know, if I did that, it'd be like, you know, let's braid Daddy's hair, you know. And I don't have enough hair to braid, so I could just see how that would turn out.
I don't know. That might be a good TikTok.
It might.
That might be one that makes you go viral. You never know.
You never know.
TikTok is life.
I did have one YouTube video I put up one time. That just went. Out of all the videos I put up on YouTube, I usually get like maybe 3 or 4 views, maybe 10. I think one of them was like 151. But this one I put up, Far Cry 4 had come out, and there was a problem with the game. It would come up, and when it went to load up, it would go into a black screen, and it wouldn't do anything else, and you'd have to clear it out. Well, if you had like a controller or something hooked up, and you went and disabled it, then the game would boot up fine. So I made this video showing what the problem was and how to fix it. And I think after the first night, I had 10,000 views after the first night.
Wow.
I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And I think after it was like 2 or 3 years, it got up to like 90,000 views. It was something crazy. I
Holy
was like,
cow.
at 150 replies, they were like, oh, hey, that worked. Thanks. I'm going to sub to you and all this other stuff. I'm like, really? I just, did some internet work and figured it out. It wasn't that hard, but okay, sure. um, and unfortunately, like, I think it was a year ago when YouTube came out with the, if you put something up and it's got anything that's not child friendly and you haven't marked your channel not child friendly, you could go to jail and pay a penalty. And knee jerk reaction, I just deleted everything off my channels.
Oh no.
Yeah. So looking back, I wish I hadn't now, but
Yeah, but you could still do those. I mean, you could still do, because I have noticed it's like if you do a lot of, especially like our IRL stuff, it seems like, and things like that, tips. I don't think the streamer tips work as much anymore as they used to, because that's just oversaturated. But
right.
But yeah, I mean, that might be something to look into, just as to put in.
Right. And that's something I do plan on getting back to, because I think I was onto something there, even though I didn't mean to be onto something there. So.
Yeah. Find issues with the game and then figure out how to. Yeah, because that's the first thing I go to. Is YouTube if I have a problem with a game.
Yep.
Or have a problem with anything.
I watch YouTube more than I watch TV anymore, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But I think everybody does. Because it's between my go-to, like, I'm like Psycho Girl. It's like, it's either YouTube or TikTok.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get more into TikTok, but not to do like the crazy dances or stuff, because I'd probably break a hip if I tried some of those dances.
Oh my gosh. If I did a if I did a TikTok dance thing, it'd be like, okay, you never need to do that again. Burn this.
Yeah, I know my stepdaughter, she tried to get me to do some one night. I'm like, yeah, I'm just not that coordinated. Sorry.
Right. You got about all the rhythm of a ladybug. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all you do is watch TikTok and streams. When do you have time for streams? Because because I can't get away. I have to literally force myself to put my phone down.
Right.
You broke your toe trying to do a TikTok dance a few years ago. Ouch.
Oh no.
No, like I said, I would probably break more than a toe. I'd probably throw my hip out or my back out or yeah. I'm starting to do like the lip sync things that they do, but that's about
right.
it. I like doing the duets. The duet things I've done a couple of those, but because those are fun,
Right.
As long as it's songs I know. If it's songs I don't know, I'm not gonna do them, or that are my age appropriate songs. I'd be like, sorry, y'all gotta have a good streams, then watch TikTok.
I posted that Battlefield video in the Clips channel, by the way.
Oh, okay.
For anybody that wants to check it out, it's quite hilarious.
Yeah, I got to go through those. I know we try to do the clip of the week, but not a lot of people entered into them. We're still trying to get a Discord built up. As soon as we're getting people in there now. We just got to get more interactive. And it's getting there. It's slowly.
Yep.
Rome wasn't built on in a day.
It wasn't built in a day.
So, who are some of your influences that you watched that made you want to do this even more?
And before I answer this, if y'all's name ain't on this, if I don't mention it, doesn't mean you're not on the list. It just means I've abbreviated the list for time constraints. Otherwise, we'd be here all night. But I think I put down the one of the first streamers I watched and really got into and enjoyed, and actually she modded me, for her channel eventually was her name was Ladies Awakening. She doesn't stream anymore, but I tuned into her channel. She was playing Alien Isolation, and you know, you gotta watch a girl who plays Alien Isolation. It's fun to hear him scream.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she was asked, she's like, "Has anybody played this?" And I was like, "I played it." She's like, "Oh, what do I need to do?" And I was telling her, she's like, "Okay, okay, okay." And then she got the part where the alien came out. She's like, "Whoa, what the frick?" And I kept coming back and watching, and she played COD a lot, and she would play the Five Nights at Freddy's games, and she was kind of a variety streamer. She did all kinds of different things. She played the Plants vs Zombies games and stuff like that, and I really enjoyed watching her. And then the first few times I streamed after I followed her, she popped into my channel and she would come in and lurk and stuff, and we actually played together a few times, and she was really really cool, and we're still friends to this day. She just has left content creation. Um, I think the next one after that would have been, I think I put down Stephanie Ray Lynn.
Hmm.
She used to go by Lilu. We were both on the same uh, team together for a while. Uh, the organization, should I say? And I met her actually on her birthday. She was streaming on her birthday, and she was playing. She playing. I think she was playing World of Tanks. And then she moved from World of Tanks over into COD, and then she got into some other ones. And then I turned her on to some Serious Sam games, and then we played some of those together. And I even played, I think I played Counter Strike with her husband a few times, and she was really, really cool. Uh, really great person. And we're still friends to this day. We're really good, close friends. I've been a sub to her for like almost 6 years now.
Oh wow.
So, then, of course, there was Satoshi Gaming. She used to go by Red Lace, and her alternate Twitter is Life by Lacey. She was a really cool gal. She was very health oriented, and she started a team called Team Power Up Health. And it was all about, it wasn't like the team wasn't about like, okay, you got to join the teams, you got to start eating salads, become a vegan, and all this other stuff now. It wasn't anything like that. It was just about building each other up, mentally and physically, and, you know, getting stuff. My brain's like going,
Mine every day.
essentials to help you become healthier, in the long run, if you needed help creating a diet, a healthier diet, they would do that. We had a team trainer who was actually in the army. He had a
Wow.
YouTube channel, and he would go through and say, okay, this is probably your best workout plan for you. And of course, anything mentally there to help improve mental health was great. It was really great team. Unfortunately, it was short lived. As with all things, life comes along and you get married and get pregnant. And you have to start taking care of that. So the team ended up getting shut down. But again, still very very good friends with her. And then of course, then my I guess newest one would be John Reeves Live,
Mhm.
who's the current CEO for GGs.TV. And he's just a great guy. I've actually met him in person, him and Eric as well.
Oh wow.
Last year when we went on vacation to Pigeon Forge, we went through Tennessee, and we stopped off there, I think it was Nashville, and we had a burger together at this place called Jumbo and Delicious. Awesome burgers. And John Reeves can put some food away. We ordered like a burger and a plate of hot wings, and I think he had fries too. And he was just a really cool guy. And he's always upbeat, always very motivational. He kind of reminds me of that old Chris Farley, character.
Yeah.
My name is Matt Foley, and I live in a van down by the river. That kind of guy,
Yep.
that kind of energy, and but ultimately, super cool guys, So those would be my top ones. You
The
know,
top ones.
now, if you wanted, like there's a few bigger ones out there that I looked up to. There's one I used to look up to. I don't anymore because he ended up getting banned off Twitch because it was found out that he had some not so good practices
Oh.
that he was doing, and he got booted and he kind of disappeared. Um, but one of the other ones that I kind of look up to, he's a Sea of Thieves streamer, and he's a partner, and that's Captain Falcor. I really enjoy his content. Great guy. Very funny guy, and I watch a lot of his YouTube. His YouTube caught a lot of my attention because has got a lot of these funny ones where he went out and did funny things to other people, and I'm all about learning to be better. So, and he's an excellent, pirate. So, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we used to play Sea of Thieves a lot, then it just kind of, our little group kind of fell apart and
right,
went their own ways. I guess that's what happens after a while, but
yeah,
but no, yeah, I know I've actually had John Reeves on my personal talk show, and yeah, he was pretty cool. And
yeah.
actually, I had the whole GG's crew at one time, and John Reeves came on later. So yeah, he's a pretty cool dude.
I like John Reeves. He's good. He's a
Yeah, I
good
know
fella.
he's actually killing it on YouTube right now with all his reaction videos he's been doing.
Yep. And I love reaction videos. That's one of my favorite things. I was watching some today, people's first time watching Aliens. And some of these people just crack me up. It's so funny to see the way somebody else reacts to one of your favorite movies,
Yeah. Hi, Miss Murder. I wasn't ignoring you.
I see you, Miss Murder, too.
I would learn to play Sea of Thieves. Well, let's do it. Let's play Sea of Thieves. I've been trying to find somebody else. I know Chadley, if he's still in here. I know he was one of the crew. Actually, he's the one that got me into playing Sea of Thieves.
Yep. I told her that, we need to get on sometime. We'll do it. Right now they're trying to figure out right now they have an adventure going on right now where you can either go and try to destroy one of the outposts or save the outpost.
Oh, okay.
And so far, it's not looking too good for the outpost. I'm like, nah, screw that outpost. It's time for something different.
I don't ignore you, Chad. but no, yeah, no. Sea of Thieves is maybe that's what we need to do one of these times. Just get together and play Sea of Thieves. I'm down for it. I've been down to doing something else because I've been stuck on COD, and I think it's time to. I mean, I enjoy COD. Everybody else don't enjoy it. I like it, but
I think it's like anything else. After a while, it gets old.
Yeah, I mean, you got to take a break. I just got Game Pass on PC for $1 for 3 months, so I have to reinstall. There you go. I think I still have it on my Game Pass app. I'll have to. If it's only $1, I might have to do that too, because actually, I think I keep getting these free promo things from different places. I think I might have to jump in and get one of those and reactivate my Game Pass, because I know I had a bunch of them on there. Halsey, Sea of Thieves is good fun. Yeah.
Yeah. Love it.
Unless you get hacked. Me and Chad ran into a hacker one time. It was funny. He was killing us and trying to blow our boat up, and then wanted us to join his crew.
Right. I did run into that one time where somebody was hacking. It was clearly they were cheating, and one of the forts that the Fort of Fortune had just spawned, and myself and my buddy had went over there and kind of looked around. Like, anytime you go into a situation, you always check out the area and make sure nobody else is there, because otherwise you're not going to have a good time. So we went there and we started trying to take down the fort, and then he noticed there was a rowboat that showed up out of nowhere, and then I saw somebody swimming in the water, and I was like, okay, we're going to get out of here. So I started collecting whatever we had to put it on the boat, started to take off, and then I get killed. I spawn back in, the key's on the wheel, and I walk up behind him. I must have hit him like 6 times with the sword, and he just stood there. And I hit him a few more times, and then he finally gets off. He turns around, takes one swing at me, and I'm dead.
Oh,
And then
yep.
his other buddies show up on the boat, and I can't kill any of them. And then it got to where they turned our boat around, took us back to the fort, and I kid you not, we would spawn in, and as soon as we would spawn in, we would die.
Yep.
It was just like they knew where we were at before we were ever there. And then when we called them out on us, like, well, what makes you think I'm cheating? I'm like, because you're cheating. That's why.
Would you like to watch the VOD back again?
Yeah, it's like, so yeah, we reported them, and happy to see you too, Che.
Hey, what's happening?
But yeah, and I there's a friend of mine who also plays Sea of Thieves. His name's Sharky. He's really good, and he's always playing a Reaper. He's got like 104 million plus gold.
Oh wow,
Yeah, and so
that's really
he
good.
doesn't really go around for gold anymore. He just wants to go pick a fight. So he was chasing. I was watching a stream. He was chasing this sloop around, and just on this sloop, and wanted to get him, and he killed the guy, and then he died, and he went to the Fort of Dam, and he saw the guy at the Fort of the Dam. He's like, "Hey, let's sit down and have a talk here. Let's try to have a dialogue. Can we do this?" And the guy he was so salty. He's like, "All right, you're better than me. Does that make you happy? You're better than me. You want my stuff? You can't have my stuff because I'll take it into the Red Sea and you won't get it." And he's like, "You want to calm down? Are you a little salty there?" He's like, "Yeah, you know what? You're just better than me. That's all there is to it." And it's like, "Look, I'm not after your money. I've got money. I just want to fight you." But he just wasn't having it. So yeah, he's just like.
Well, there we go. We got it. Maybe one of these Saturday nights or something like that. We can all get together and have a community night and do that.
Definitely,
So
definitely, that would be cool. That'd be super cool.
Yeah, the Sniffle Squads. Yeah, I think was it you and Tate, Ms. Murder, that has been struggling with allergies and stuff the last few days. I know I woke up this morning kind of all stuffed up and headache, and I get that every time the weather changes. Whenever we have high pressure, I'm like a human barometer.
Same here.
It's like I was fine yesterday, and then today when I woke up, it was just like, oh, it's gonna rain. I could just feel it.
Yeah, I usually wake up every morning with Triscuit nose. It's all dried out or something, and then I got to try to breathe. I'm like,
Haven't played Sea of Thieves since Pirates event. Well, Vault, are you in the Discord, Vault? Join the Discord. Get in the Discord. So we're trying to build the Discord. Miss Murder wants people in the Discord. I almost typed in exclamation point Miss Murder. Oh God, I can't spell. There we go. Join the Discord, Vault. Get in there. Yeah, it was fine. It's actually we're camping and came back. Woke up Monday and couldn't breathe. Oh, I know. Weather is just crazy. Hey, Sabalamanda Viduba. We don't need to buy followers. We got all the followers we need. Get out of here.
Need no stinks.
Thanks, Tate. Thanks, Ms. Murder. We got one deleted and one banned. Let's go. Rebel can't spell like, yeah, I can't spell. Begone bot. Yeah, I get, you get in a hurry, especially because a lot of my stuff I do during the day when I'm at work. So it's like I'm typing really, really fast. So you just got to give me a break. So what things do you want to, I know you said your goals. You didn't want to like make this a full-time career, but if it happens, it happens. So other than just kind of like hanging out and just having fun, which is a great thing to do, is there something like in your mind that you would like to like strive for like within the next year?
Well, I think it all goes back to, like what I was saying about how people perceive the world. You get on Twitter and you read the news and you see all this horrible stuff happening in the world, right? Like, school shootings, um, price of gas going up, the war in Ukraine, and people like that really, I think that really weighs on people a lot, and especially, like well, I mean, you see it all the time. Streaming community is full of drama.
Hmm.
There's always somebody that's got something negative to say about something, and I think more than anything, I want to be the exact opposite of that. I want to be that positive voice. I want to be, the sunshine to somebody's cloudy day. And ultimately, I just kind of like I I want to emulate that in the hopes that other people will start to emulate that. And rather than thinking and concentrating on the negative and the drama and the crap going on in the world, maybe start focusing on the positive things in the world, and then just become, I guess, for lack of better words, more human, and less, you know, monster, you know,
Yeah.
uh, because there's just so much crap. I was reading today, and I think yesterday, as a matter of fact, I was saying, I guess there's this new thing going around. The partners are mad at affiliates because they got almost the same things that they do, and then affiliates are mad at partners because there's partners that haven't done what a partner should do in so long, and they're not maintaining, and back and forth. And it's like, is this really really
Mm.
that important? My gosh, I mean, it's, I mean, who cares? It's their career. I know affiliates that are more successful than full partnered people, and vice
Yep.
versa. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Are they happy? If they're happy, who cares?
Yep.
And what does it matter to you? So yeah, I've always just been that kind of guy who's like, enjoy the simpler things in life, and let things happen naturally. And if they happen, they happen. And if they don't, they don't, you know, uh, and just roll with the punches. I'm not saying, if you really want partner, just kick back and don't shoot for it. By all means, shoot for it, but don't, you know, like anything else in life, don't let it be the be all and end all of you.
I know. I
That makes
know.
sense?
Yeah. No, I totally understand. Yeah, I've seen that a lot too here lately. What cracks me up is seeing all these people that have, busted their ass to try to get partner either by doing one thing or another, and then as soon as they get that purple check mark, they just back off.
Right.
They don't do the stuff that they were doing that were bringing their community, that people were enjoying coming into their community for. Once they get that
Right.
purple check mark, they're just like, okay, I got what I want. I just back off.
Yep.
I'm kind of curious though. I mean, you've heard of this stuff about Twitch, talking about all the changes that I guess they're supposed to be meeting sometime this month or whatever to do a lot of changes with like the partner payouts and some of the other partner agreements. And I know one of the things that they were talking about doing was maybe getting rid of exclusivity to where, you could stream on other platforms. I don't know if that'll happen or not, but excuse me. I know one of the things they're doing is they're changing the payout, or they're talking about changing the payout to where all tier 1 subs are going to be 50-50. It doesn't matter if you're partner or affiliate.
Right.
I know that has got a lot of people up in arms, but I know I'm like you. It's just like, they don't put in the work, or they do until they, like I said, they do until they get that purple check mark, and then they just, oh, I've got it. That's all I need to do. But yeah, it's just like, I mean, I see so many, like you said, I see so many affiliates making more money or enjoying themselves than what partners do. And it's just because, I don't know, it's just crazy. So yeah, Twitter is a disaster. So actually anything right now.
Oh yeah.
I thought after everything would start opening back up and things would start getting a little bit back to normal, I thought people would be more normalized.
Right.
But I don't know, I guess being locked up in your house for a year or so. But yeah.
And I think that really took a toll on people. I mean, it sounds like a great thing. Woohoo! I got all this time off. And then
Yeah.
I think, and I really think that has a lot to do with the mental state of the country right now, is because people have become so withdrawn from society and so dependent on this electronic platform that we use, that you know they're they don't see humanity as a value anymore. You know,
Nope.
you know, anybody can sit behind this screen and say anything they want to. You know, it doesn't matter. But if they went out into the real world and said that to the wrong person, they might not. They might regret it. You know,
Yeah.
and and I think that withdrawnness and just being constantly bombarded by, you know, crap from Twitter and stuff, I think that really gets to people. I think it affects their mental state, you know. Um, and I think that's where a lot of these people have problems. You know, everybody wants to blame like gun violence on video games and music and even the guns. And I think what they're missing the point is, you know, okay, take all that stuff away. You still got a crazy person who wants to kill somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and no matter what laws you make, they're going to figure out a way to do it.
Yep.
You know, and solving that problem. You know, I mean, anymore, people's phones, people's computers, you know, their consoles, whatever, that's become babysitters anymore.
Yep.
You know, it's made it entirely too easy for, you know, parents to just say, they got their computer, they'll be all right. You know, what if that's the problem? You know, what if their interaction and the stuff they're picking up off the stuff? I'm not saying that the technology itself is bad, but I think the effect that it has, you know, in a sense, like making people saying, you know, well, I don't have to parent anymore because the computer's doing that for me. Could be anything, you know. So I think, like, for me, trying to be that light, you know, that sunshine in on that cloudy day, you know, might bring some relief to somebody.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. Having a more positive atmosphere to, you know, people coming in,
Right.
you know, to get away from, you know, the you know, it's kind of like what we're trying to build here is more of a positive vibe and atmosphere. But yeah, no, it's just like I was watching a TikTok today. They were doing, and I don't just watch the dances and the pretty girls on TikTok. I know it's hard to believe, but you know, there are some pretty interesting things that do pop up on there. It's just like today they had a shooting survivor and a member of the NRA, because right now, you know, everybody's blaming the NRA for everything that's going on with the shootings. To me, that just goes to show they don't understand what the NRA is.
Right.
But, and there was a kid, he was probably, I'm going to say he's a kid because he was probably like in his early 20s, it seemed like. He's like, he was on, I don't know what side he was on, but he was sitting there talking. But he's like, you know, all these shootings and everything else, especially like the kids shoot, you know, the ones that are going into the schools and shooting up the schools, you know, they found out the ones, you know, even the ones that killed themselves, they found out later on that most of them were all depressed or suffered from some type of bullying or depression or something that happened along the way.
Right.
You know, and so he's like, has anybody ever thought about just kind of, you know, maybe if somebody had said, hey, how are you doing prior to all this you know, I guess I don't know. Was it the Texas shooting that the kid that went in, it was his birthday? I can't remember. There was one of the shootings here recently, the kid that shot everybody up, it was his birthday. Maybe it was the Buffalo one. I'm not sure. But anyways, it was his birthday and he just lost it. So it's just like, you go, so think about it. It's just like saying a positive word to somebody, or, you know, somebody comes into your chat and saying a positive word, or even, you know, if they say happy birthday, you know, acknowledge their birthday. So it might just be you, or it might be you out there that just sits there. One word that you could say to somebody would turn the way they look at things, you know. I'm not saying I was bullied as a kid. I was shunned as a kid, you know, just because I just didn't fit in. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, I understand what you're saying about computers, because my babysitter was the TV.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of Jerry Lee Lewis movies. I watched a lot of Dean Martin movies and
Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah. The Mickey Mouse Club.
Yeah.
Um,
Electric Company.
yeah. Yeah, I watched the Mickey Mouse Club before. What was it? Britney Spears? What was she the one that was on there, or
Yeah.
somebody? Yeah,
Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, I believe.
yeah.
Both.
So I watched it way back when Anita, was on there. That's when.
Yep. That's when I watched it.
Anita Funicelli, was that who it was?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and that was the heartthrob back then in our days. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I mean, I think one thing I think people need to do is quit blaming everybody else and try to figure out. Quit taking the energy you guys have blaming everybody else and take that energy and put into trying to fix it.
Right. I mean, there's just so many things that could be done. I mean, if parents would be parents, if we would stop coddling some of these people that do some of these things too. I mean, yeah, how many, first thing they start trying to do as soon as somebody does something like this is like, okay, what can we do to get them off?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't need to get off, and like some of these, like there's a lot of these shootings, like where it's like, well, the kid got a hold of the parent's gun. Well, how did he do that?
Yep.
And and in instances like that, shouldn't the parent be held responsible? Because I'm here to tell you, if I'm looking at facing jail time for something my kid did, my kid ain't gonna do it.
Yeah. No. No,
And that's the way it would. I mean, if it's like, okay, he went and shot up a bunch of people, you get to go to the gas chamber for it.
Yep. Yeah.
Extreme, maybe. Would it stop it? I think it absolutely would.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I know it's even back in the day, when truancy was actually a thing. My mom got freaked out, when the truant officer showed up at her door. Once. It only happened once. Because it's one of those things. Once it happens, it's like it never happened again.
Yep. I had a gal that worked for me when I was running a restaurant in the town next to just over, and she got in the habit of the person she was dating would not take her kids. She was living with would not take her kids to school. And so she would come to work, and then she would get a call, hey, your kids aren't in school. If they're not in school in the next so often, we're going to take them. And so she would have to leave work and go home and take her kids to school. But did she fix the problem? No, because and then I would get a call at work from my boss saying, oh, well, she had to go take her kids to school. You need to come in and cover for her. I'm like, no. I'm done with that.
Yeah.
You're not getting my time. She's getting my tax money. She's not getting my time off too. So, yeah, I'm going to put a stop to that right there. So either she fixes it or you fix it, but I'm not going to fix it for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's what everybody's just, like I said, it's easy, and it is. It's easier to blame everybody else than it is to take responsibility.
Right.
It's just, I mean, for now, it's just like, I don't know, I can't, I get blamed that I blame everybody else still, but it's just like, no, I take responsibility for my own actions, always have.
Right.
If I screw up, I'm going to sit there and it's just like, it might take me a few days, but I'm going to say, yep, I did it. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's what we need to do. Maybe we need to sit the kids down and watch some of the old Mickey Mouse clubs and, rewire their brain or something.
Right.
But no, I mean, yeah, because I mean, we did, like I said, the kids nowadays, the only difference between the kids nowadays and the kids back when we were kids is they have all the technology. I mean,
right.
A lot of us were still being, like I said, my babysitter was the TV or, VHS. If y'all don't know what that is, it was a square tape you stuck in there and it played a movie. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I grew up on old classic black and whites. I grew, Turner Classic Movie Channel was my go-to, still is. This is like, every Christmas I didn't watch like, what was it? The Christmas Story, but I watched Holiday Inn with Bing Crosby and Danny Kaye.
Yep.
You know, those were my movies, and I still watch those movies. People, you know, my stepdaughter and my wife laughs at me, but it's just like, hey, I don't care.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah. I did finally watch The Christmas Story a few years ago. That was kind of I can see why people get burnt out on it really, really quick, but no, it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, so have you guys had any issues down there where you lived with anything happening so far, like with the shootings or anything?
No, I mean, I'm in a smaller community. It's, we're in Missouri, and in our community, I don't think there's anybody in town that's not armed. So, Redneckville, USA, praise the Lord. And
Yeah.
there's been a crazy thing here and there, but nothing out of the ordinary. There was one time, I think, here a couple of years back, can't remember when, but some kid posted on Facebook that he was going to do something horrible, at the school. I can't remember what, but rather than the police sitting around and waiting for something to happen, they went to his house and they paid him a visit, and they found weapons.
Yeah.
And it didn't happen, So, they put that baby to bed ahead of time, and I think most of the community would have probably stepped up to step in and make sure that didn't happen as well, because they don't play that game around here,
Yeah, I seen.
And I'm not saying that more guns is the answer, but I think a lot of the people around here have been taught to respect them, and
But basically, it comes down to about how you're being taught how to handle the
right,
situation.
they've been informed,
Yeah. No, it's just like, no, talking about that, we had that down here actually. Ever since the Sandy Hook incident, if there's a post that gets turned into the police department down here, that has anything to do with a school shooting or a possible school shooting or any harm to any students at a school, there's actually a law here in the state of Oklahoma that the child will be tried as an adult for terroristic threats. And then you and the child is held, responsible, but the parent is also held responsible. I think but yeah, because I know right after Sandy Hook, there were several, like small communities, people were doing that because it was a thing. Like, okay, let's post on there saying we're going to blow the school up. You know? And it's just like, so they went straight to the, they found, because they was on their Facebook page, they found who they were, went to their house, and I think they charged like 2 or 3 students within that year frame of, it was a federal crime of terroristic threats.
Yeah.
So yeah, hold them accountable. But, ever since then, we have not had any school incidents here, knock on wood.
Right.
But I mean, we did have an incident here over the Memorial Day weekend, that it was like I think the Tuesday after, somebody went down here in Tulsa, went down and took out 4 people at a doctor's office. It wasn't a kid. It was a guy that was heavily medicated and they wouldn't give his medication. So he went to the doctor and killed the doctor and whoever got in the way. But that was, again, that's a mental dysfunction, and he was an addict and they wouldn't give him any more pills. But yeah, the kid shooting and stuff like that, they just need to nip it in the butt before it happens as soon as they get the word.
Yeah, exactly right.
It's just like, well, the Buffalo incident, where that kid went into the supermarket, that broadcast it live on Twitch, killing those 10 people.
That's crazy. That's disgusting.
Yeah. And the thing is, there's the two things that got me to that was, one is like everybody was trying to blame Twitch. Everybody was trying to like, well, Twitch needs to be, held accountable for that. It's like, it's not like Twitch knew it was going to happen.
Right. I mean, what did Twitch have to do about it? You know.
And then second was, that kid there had already been tagged, and basically, or if, I guess a year before that, was already in. He'd been arrested for making terroristic threats to a school, put in a psych eval. The psych eval came back, said yes, he has issues, but 48 hours later they dropped him and let him go back out into society without any help. So, and then he turns around and does what he does just a few months later. But
That's the way it usually works.
It's like, so yeah, I mean, now everybody's, just like, I can't remember, it was either you, Tay, or it was somebody else that was talking about, just you heard a loud noise at Walmart and it just made you want to duck under something. That's the society we're coming to now again.
Right.
But, we didn't learn anything after Columbine. We haven't learned anything after Sandy Hook, because if we learned anything from them too, the stuff that happened in Valdi wouldn't have happened. But I don't know, there's a whole other story behind that. My opinion, this is my opinion, not the opinion of Get Wet or anything else, but it's my opinion, is I think the law enforcement need to be held responsible for that one. Considering they just stood outside and
let it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, because they turned it from an active shooter into a barricaded subject.
Right.
It's like, no, it happened in 12 minutes. That was not a barricaded subject. That was classified as an active shooter. But, and the fact that this guy could, they had no idea who this dude was running through the crowd with a shotgun that ran in, to take it out, and come to find out it was, the Border Patrol agent. But yeah, that stuff there is what needs to be fixed, on top of everything else. But no, I think the mental health of people need to be looked at.
Right.
Just crazy.
I agree completely.
And I don't know. Like I said, shit always happens. And what somebody told me is like, there's been 232 what they classify as mass shootings so far this year, in the United States. But, everybody wants to blame the guns. But, just like you said earlier, you can take the guns off the street, but you got explosives, you got all this other stuff. I mean,
well, and not only that, I mean, criminals don't turn in weapons. I mean, they don't. So, I mean, I don't know where, I mean, it sounds good on paper, get rid of the guns. Well, yeah, sure. No more guns, but then who's going to go take the guns away from the criminals? Criminals got guns and you don't.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy.
So,
but yeah,
there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, and like I said, I think if people would get off their butt and start coming up with a plan, putting all that energy into coming up with a plan, then blaming everybody else, I think it'd probably get something done. But
Yep.
It's just the way with everything else lately. Like, it's easier to blame than it is to take responsibility.
Absolutely.
So anyways, well, serious talk there. I love that.
Yep.
Vault, I got you set up in the Discord is under, because you are a premium member, so you're under their premium. So you just need to go through and claim your other roles that you have. Anybody that has joined the Discord, make sure that you click on the roles and put your roles in there. And then if you are a premium member, get a hold of Miss Murder and she will get you set up on that way too. The only reason why I did Vault, because I thought he was already in here. He just happened to pop up right when I did. So, but anyways, like I said, I know you've been in this field for 8 years. I mean, you've got to have come up with some ideas and stuff like that would make things better for people, starting in the industry. So give me 3 tips to, if I was to come into your stream and say, hey, or into your Discord or something and say, hey, I'm new here, I want to start. Give me 3 things that would that you would suggest that I probably need to do.
Let me nail them all down because there's so many things coming at me at once. First thing I would advise, don't don't over expect anything. Don't go into this expecting like you're going to hit the switch to stream and poof, you're going to get viewers. And then don't expect that if the viewers actually come in that they're actually going to talk. And you have to be prepared for that. And commit to what you're doing. You know, don't go into it half-hearted. Prepare. Come up with a game plan. Okay, what's going to set me apart from the next streamer? Um, what's going to make me different? What's going to make people want to come in and see me? You know, uh, I mean, as you can see, I'm stunningly handsome, so I have that going for me.
Yep.
No, i- and I like so many people say, always learn to talk to yourself. You know, maybe not always answer, but learn to talk to yourself, uh, and always be prepared. Try. I know it's tough, and I still catch myself doing this today. Like sometimes I'll get to playing a game that I'm so focused in the game and I forget about chat.
Yep.
And if somebody comes into that chat and you're not saying anything, or maybe you don't acknowledge them and they've said something, there was your chance. Uh, so try to be attentive to your viewers, and you know if you get a chance to, when you're done, raid. You know, um, I would say be selective in who you raid. Uh, like if you're done if you're done streaming, you got one viewer, don't raid somebody who's got 400 viewers, because that's probably not going to come off real good. But if you rated somebody else who might be like on the lower spectrum, you know, you've just made that person's day. You don't know how many times I sit there, and usually that's what I do. If I raid out, I'll look at somebody who's like maybe got one or two viewers, especially depending on how many people I have. Um, if if you've got one or two viewers and you raid them, chances are they've been sitting there for a while and they've got nobody in there and hadn't had anybody in there, and they might even think nobody's watching them. I mean, you come in, well, you've just made their day. So I mean, you know, that would be that'd be my advice. Don't over expect, uh, and don't undersell yourself either. Sometimes in this type of environment, it pays to be a little cocky. Not too cocky, but just a little bit cocky. Be confident, I guess, to be more specific. Be confident in what you're doing, uh, and then you know, e- you know, don't just focus on your stuff. Go out and don't like stream and then never go out and watch anybody else. Go out and see some of these other people who are streaming. Let them know you're there. Uh, and that's also a good way to maybe pick up ideas too. You
Yep.
know, so network, get to know people. I mean, I could go on and on. There's just a lot of stuff. Networking has done a lot for me. Um, that's how I got to meet Randy Pitchford, uh who's CEO of Gearbox Software.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And that's how I got to meet some of the devs that worked on Colonial Marines, and that's how I got to meet some of the devs who worked on Sniper Elite. And
Oh cool.
I've even made friends with some of these people, played games with some of these people. Uh, so I mean, don't don't come to this expecting that it's going to be easy, and be prepared to work hard for it. It's really what you want. You know, and don't let nothing hold you back.
Solid advice. Very solid advice. I wish I'd have known that one back when I first started, man. I know.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's so many stupid things I did when I was, earlier on. Things that you just don't know when you're beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if you don't have anybody to kind of like, like you said, just hitting the live, because I did. That's all I did. I mean, it took me about a week, but I finally hit the live button. Yeah, because I had nobody, so I've met more people, like you said, networking, getting in. I've met a lot of people with GetWet. I've met, I'm in now with, some of the other organizations and businesses that, deal with streamers and content creators. So, I've met a lot of people. I've had a lot of doors open up for me here in the last year or so, and it's all because I got in and took time to get to know these people.
Right. I mean, you know, if somebody would have told me in 2020, I was going to get involved with anybody that, that, I mean, one of the biggest decisions I made was getting involved with GG's, what used to be called Greasy Gamer.
Mhm.
I think I responded to a tweet that Austin had made at the time being, and we were talking about how 2020 sucked, and I was telling him about how 2019 sucked, and then a month later, 2020 just made up for it all in one fell swoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got on board with him, and then I became an affiliate, and then I became a mod, and I almost became sponsor a couple of different times, and then I got on board with our chat, and then I got on board with you guys, and it's just last a year or two is really just kind of like blossomed.
Yeah.
Even now on my own Twitch channel, I've grown like 40 people over the last couple of months.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Which is for me is just amazing. Because and don't get focused on the numbers. We tweeted something else out about this today at GG's. Don't get focused on the numbers. Those numbers mean bullshit.
Yep.
It might mean everything in the world to Twitch, but in the grand scheme of things, it means nothing. Because here's the absolute truth of the matter. What good is it to have 40 people in your stream that don't give a shit about you when you could have 10 people in your stream or even 5 people in the stream that you might be their hero? And that's really where it is, and because those people who think you're their hero, those people that I mean, whether you think they are or not, you're their hero.
Yeah.
Those people are going to tell other people, and they're going to bring like-minded people like them, and that's where your family starts. That's where your community starts. That's where you start growing. The people that come in and don't give a crap about you, they don't don't worry about them. They might be a number, but they're not going to do anything for you in the long run. They're not.
Yep. No. Yeah, that's very enlightening. It's very deep. We got in deep conversation. No, that's cool though. I've never heard anybody, explain it that way. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, when you're talking about the numbers, it's like, I can't remember, somebody else asked me about that too on a tweet today. It seems like a lot of people are focused on the numbers. They don't understand. Well, a lot of them is they don't understand why their view counts or their numbers are going down. It's just like, do you realize it's like school's out, people are on vacation. There are a shit ton of events going on right now. Lands are back open for competitions. Yeah, just, hi Shadow. Yeah, the first couple of weeks of summer after school lets out is always a day. If you go back into stats on Twitch Tracker and you watch the first couple, is it's like anytime school is out for break or anytime there's some type of a lull where vacation could be taken, there's always a drop in numbers.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, this year is especially going to be low because, like I said, competitive lands are open back up. People can actually go and compete in an arena. And what else? GCX is back. Or gamer. Yeah, I think it's GCX. The one that Professor Broman started a few years ago. That's been shut down and only been virtual for 2 years.
Right.
So it's actually back open. I think it's this weekend. And then like I said, the biggest thing is like, Apex lands are getting ready to open back up. Call of Duty lands are open back up. Things are going back to a sense of normalcy when it comes to this industry. So, I'm not taking it personal. You get sick. It's for no, trust me. I mean, knock on wood. I have not, I work in the general public 6 days a week, and I have not got anything. I knock on wood. I mean, I've had a few sniffles here and there, but that's about it. Because we were classified as essential workers, so we didn't get to partake in the shutdowns. Time to just experiment and play around with stuff. Yeah, exactly. This right now, this time of the year is when you should be focusing on. I know my opinion is probably what you can do better, where you can, because you'll have the down. Like I said, you'll have the lull and the downtime. So, but that's something you should do all the time. You should always look at what you do, what you can do better.
Yep.
Never stop looking what you can do better at anything, not just this, just life in general.
Yep. And sometimes take a risk,
See, that's my problem. It's like, well, not now because I do it now, but when I first started doing, it's like the talk show was a big risk for me because I'm not people make me nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the way I am. But so it took me 3 months to actually even hit the go live to, I mean, not the go live to game, but the go live to do this on my own channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Shadow was actually one of my first actual, with Chad Lee, we did like a trial run. We had Chad and a few of my other friends were in there. I think Vault was in there too. But we did like a trial run of like a little panel podcast type thing that went way longer than what we expected. But the very first talk show I did, the first episode I did was with Shadow, Glam Von Grimm, and Illcat. We did a mixer, kind of talking about mixer days. So that was my very first official show. And man, I was so nervous. And to this day, I still get nervous. Until about a few minutes in, then I'll start to relax. But yeah, always take a chance. Take a chance to do something new. Work outside the box.
Yep. One of the things I was really on the fence about doing was flight sim streams. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're just flying around,
Yep.
And it might be the coolest thing to you. But, it's not like COD where you're running somebody down and taking their life or something, it's like, it's not like killing orcs, where you can, bask in the glory of, orcs bouncing off walls and into grinders. But, it's kind of risky because, it can come off kind of boring, But, my very first flight sim stream, I had all kinds of people, oh my gosh, this is so awesome. It's so
Yeah.
pretty. It's so neat looking, neat looking, And I thought, okay, well, the first one went over, but maybe it's just a fluke. And I tried it again and again and again. And you know what? More of my flight streams than none end up being pretty good, Might not always be a whole lot of viewers, but the ones that come in and they want to talk or they want to say something, and a lot of times I'll say, okay, well, I'm here. Is there some place I can, take you to that maybe you wanted to see and haven't been able to in real life, uh, is there something you want me to do? I mean, what, and I take requests, sometimes we'll go to Brazil and sometimes we'll end up in, Dubai, and sometimes we'll fly down London, or maybe go out by the Statue of Liberty, whatever, and I've had a lot of success in that, which kind of surprised me at first, but I mean, it's a beautiful game. So I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of people just come in to go ooh ah, you know, and then and kind of enjoy that, and it's also very relaxing too,
Mhm.
and I find that a lot of people who come in and maybe they've had a stressful day and they want something that's not going to be like, you know,
Yeah.
and so they come in and they see that and they're like, wow, this is really calming me down. This is, relaxing me. And that's one of the things I like about it. In fact, I liked it so much I invested in a $400 yoke and throttle.
Did you
You know,
really?
yeah, I did.
No,
This
that's
new Turtle Beach one, I love it to death. It's really made a big improvement in the sim.
no. I mean, I'm a flight simulator. See, I'd be one of those that came in to watch because I'm going to admit I'm not the best pilot in the world. I crashed into my neighbor's house. But I didn't realize you could fly because I remember when Flight Simulator first came out, you couldn't. I mean, it wasn't that detailed.
No, it was you had
Yeah.
green was the earth, blue was the sky, and you had these blocky looking parallelograms everywhere
Yeah.
else.
But now it takes on Google or Microsoft Earth, which is basically Google Earth. But it's you literally can fly over your neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I crashed into my neighbor's house. I was waiting for the boom actually outside, and it was kind of funny.
Yeah, I had my buddy Texas, and he's like a fly out of San Angelo Airport, and he told me where to find his house. He's like, when did they come down here and do this? I'm like, they took the data from Bing Maps, buddy. So
Yeah.
they've always known where you lived. How
Yeah.
does that make you feel? But yeah, I've flown over my house. It even has the pool in the backyard.
Yep.
When I fly over, and I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think my maps was like a couple of years outdated because I had one of our, it had the pool before we got it re-cleaned out. But no, I'm totally down. It's like, yeah, because I mean, like the controls and stuff like that. If I'd have known that, that's one of the things I'd come into your stream for. Is like, dude, how do you do that? How do you? Because I can't fly. I really can't. I don't know how many barrel rolls I've done and crashed. Probably within an
I
hour. I
think
probably
people
classed
think
15 times.
that when I've noticed like when my son is like, oh, I want to try it, and he'll fly until he like stalls out and crashes. And I think one things, because I've seen my wife do this too when she's tried, is they keep pulling back. Like when you
Mm.
take off, they keep pulling back on the stick, thinking, and that's going to keep them going up. I'm like, no, you just pitch back. When you reach where you need to, just let the wings go level. It'll continue on in that direction. Like your car, once you turned it in that direction, it'll go that direction. If you keep turning it, you're going to do a donut, you know? So, and they just don't understand. It's like, I don't get it,
Yeah.
But I put a lot of hours into that. Probably, it's not as many as Sea of Thieves, but it's probably a close second. And I
No,
put a lot into Sea of Thieves.
I would have never even thought of like making. I don't know. This is like making a, come on aboard, flight such and such. We're gonna go take a trip around the world and just kind of see how many people would just come into.
Right.
Like you said, take them to different places that they never would be able to do. I mean, you're actually looking at live map feeds of it. It's not a CGI.
Right.
Um,
And you can turn on live flight data and live weather data, so you could be experiencing the weather and the flights that are actually going on in the world.
yeah, yeah, that's
When
what it's crazy.
yeah, when that ship had got stuck in the Suez Canal, if you flew over the Suez Canal, you'd see that ship stuck in the Suez Canal.
Really, I
It's
didn't know
crazy.
that.
Yeah,
Oh, that would have been cool.
that was pretty neat.
Yeah, I mean, I had fun playing it. Like you said, it is relaxing.
Yep.
Even though like I said, I crashed every time I took off. I think I only made one good landing, and that's when I ended the game. I think it was like the last scene. It's like, okay, I landed. We're done.
I've gone through all of the. They divide the landing challenges up. They have like strong wind, they have epic, and they have, I think, famous. And I've aced all the famous. I've mastered all the famous landing challenges,
Oh wow.
and I think I've gotten like maybe a B on the epics. and the strong winds are just hit and miss. They're really hard. I did get something crazy. Did something really crazy here a while back. I started myself off at Kennedy Airport in New York, and I like cranked up the weather to like full on thunderstorms, and then I
Oh,
cranked the
Lord.
wind up to 150 miles an hour. And I put myself in a 747, and okay, takeoff speed in the 747 is about 150 miles an hour. So all I had to do, I let the brakes off, and I kicked the throttle in, and it took me 10 feet to get off the ground. It was like, oof, it's nothing. And then, and of course, once the engine spooled up and started actually pushing the aircraft beyond that, then yeah, the but it was really neat to kind of fly up through the clouds and see all the lightning and stuff, and yeah, I was flying like a bat out of hell. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, like I said, I really like the improvement. Like I said, I never, ever since the very first one, I never paid much attention to it, and I was bored looking for a game one day, and it's like, okay, let's try this one. Got it downloaded, and it's like, oh my god, they've changed it so much.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the other thing. It added stuff in there that they really didn't have to, but actually adds to it. It's like you can like look up fauna, so you can go find hippos, rhinoceroses, bears,
Oh, wow.
buffalo, elephants, giraffes, seagulls, flamingos. You can actually go out and find them flying. It was really cool. I went over to Africa to find some hippos, and I pulled up by these hippos, and the hippos are just playing around in the mud and hanging out. I think I run over a couple of them. Thankfully, it doesn't show damage. But they were just as happy as a clam, and it was so cool. And they're very detailed for what they are. So
Wow, I didn't know that. I'm gonna check that one
yeah,
out
it
because I
was
think it's on
pretty
my
neat.
Game Pass too. So I'm gonna check that one out.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, I do some of them. I do the trucking simulator because I used to be an over the road truck driver way back when. So it's just like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool to see. And they made those maps, to where it's almost realistic too. So yeah, and actually, I've seen people. I've got my nephew. He's he's got the entire cockpit going. He's got the steering wheel and the shifter and everything else. But he's a truck driver in real life.
Cool.
But when so there's a lot of times he'll do IRL streams when he's out on truck driving. He goes trucking simulator in real life is his title. But no, when he's home playing games, he's got like I said, he's got the steering wheel. He's got this big fancy shifter and everything else. And
Yeah.
so it's just like he gets really, really into it.
I've got a friend of mine on Twitch. I think his name's Cretetian, if I'm remembering his name correctly. But he does a lot of that, the truck driving simulator, and he also does farming simulator.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got the big panel where he's got the steering wheel and the shifter, and then he's got the control panel for like the combine and stuff that he can go in, and it's just really, it's like, the first time I saw that, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna go dig up some corn and some wheat, and have fun with it. But it's actually, I went in and watched him, and was like, you know what? It's kind of satisfying,
Yeah.
So I can't, it sounds crazy, but yeah,
There's actually a Twitch partner that I think is like over in New Zealand or somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But he streams his day when he starts. He's a farmer, and he does that. He's like he kind of puts that in the title, farming simulation in real life. And he streams his entire day, and he gets like, I think when I checked in on him one morning, I just happened to run across him. He had like 300 or 3,000 viewers watching him.
Wow.
And I'm like,
that's cool.
Holy crap! Somebody's actually. he was showing he had a whole setup in his tractor and everything to where he could turn cameras to watch what he's doing, and to
Right.
flip cameras in the back to watch what when he's putting his equipment down and stuff. And I'm like, and it's like you said, it's just like wow, I'm here, I'm really doing it, But no, yeah, and it's those kind of games, guys. It's like you'd be surprised at what those kind of games would bring you. You know, everybody might say, "Oh, those are boring." Might be boring to some, but I guarantee there's a lot of people out there that would rather watch those than COD or.
Right.
And
You'd be surprised.
like I said, that one dude had 300,000 viewers just watching him do his what he did for a living every day
Yep.
as a farmer. So, but. And like I said, the truck, even when my nephew does the truck driving streams, he gets a good 50, 60 views when he does his, when he's out on the road. He was running, he did a winter, he was running on running on ice roads back in the wintertime. And I think that was like one of his biggest views that he had because everybody was like tuning into him, watching him run down this road in ice. And it's like, dude, I can't watch this because it brings back memories. That's the reason why I quit driving truck.
Right.
But no. Well, anyways, do you guys have any questions or anything for him? If not, do you have anything coming up that you would like to promote or anything else that you'd like to promote that's coming up?
Nothing crazy. A lot of the stuff that the big, more special stuff doesn't come till like later in the year.
Okay.
Usually. So nothing that I know of yet. But you never know.
Yeah.
A lot of times, something out of the blue will happen and it, just keep your eyes peeled because you never know. I do know some people in the gaming industry and occasionally, something comes up and I can have them on, I've had a couple of people on. I had Dave Lamburos on who he's working for Industrial Light and Magic now.
Oh, wow.
But he's worked for many other companies like Demiurge and I can't remember the other ones. But he's worked on Rock Band, Bioshock, Adrift. That's the one that's like the survival space sim where you're in the space station and it's been kind of jacked up and you got to fix the place up and try to get out of there. And I think he worked on Borderlands, worked on Colonial Marines, several really cool games.
Wow.
His initials are actually on the tail number of the aircraft in Bioshock that you see when you swim to the surface.
Oh, really?
Yep. And he did all the lighthouses. He'd done some really cool stuff, and he's a great guy. Him and I have talked. We've become really good friends, and we talked a lot, from time to time. But I actually did a stream with him on Colonial Marines. He came into my stream and he hung out for 4 hours while we went through all the details of the different maps that he worked on and showed people the different things. And he explained the different restrictions and some of the things they had to overcome to get the project done, and it was very enlightening and just super cool guy. And then, of course, I've done a stream with Randy Pitchford where we talked about he come in and we played Sea of Thieves while we talked about different things, and that was more of a promotional stream for GG's, um, and that was a lot of fun too. We had a lot of fun that night, but it's always a good time with him.
Well, see, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens. Is get in and start talking to people.
Yeah,
don't be
make connections.
Yeah, don't be afraid to interact in tweets and stuff like that, and and because I was scared to death the first time, but now you can't keep me out of it. If somebody, if it's something that piques my interest, I contribute.
Yep.
You know what? And 9 out of 10 times, I always get a follow back on Twitter for it, and we end up interacting more and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's how I made my connections with everybody, is to do that. So,
and very important thing: don't take no for an answer, and don't stop.
Yep.
Well, and I say this because, like, the reason why I got to where I could communicate with Randy Pitchford and some of these other ones is like Randy when Colonial Marines came out and it wasn't the grand thing that we'd hoped it had been. We were desperately trying to keep it going. I was like sending him. I would go in and we'd play that game and I would do like all these crazy screenshots and I was like bombing his Twitter account with screenshots daily. like, here's 12 more screenshots I took last night. Aren't these great, Randy? And I just like kept going and going and going and going and going to where he just could not ignore me.
Yep.
He could not. And true story, he was in an interview. I think it was with was it Game Informer? Some magazine. I think it was Game. I want to say it was Game Informer. Anyway, in the interview, he was telling them about this guy who would tweet him all these screenshots and tell him about how awesome they looked and all this other stuff, and how I was using that as a tool to like raise awareness for the game, that's what I was doing. I mean, it's still I truly believe they look great, but I mean, I was just like the rest of us, we were like, come on, please keep fixing the game, which is right where we were at. And but it was cool that he mentioned that to him, and I remember when that was when my buddy showed me that, I was like, oh, he's talking about me. And so I sent him a tweet. And I was like, so I heard there's this crazy guy that keeps tweeting you these screenshots of Colonial Marines. He's like, yeah. He's like, you do make some awesome screenshots, and that's where that conversation started. So yeah.
Silent Killer, thank you for the raid.
Yes,
Sippo,
awesome
thank you
raid.
for the
Thank you.
lurk. Let's go. Appreciate that. How was your stream, dude? But no, yeah, I'm like I said, the worst thing that somebody can do to you is say no. But like he says,
Right.
Don't take no for an answer. Always sit there and always give them an end, to come back. It's just like when I send invites out to people, it's just like, oh, I've only actually had one hard no. And it really threw me for a loop. And over a year that I've been doing this, it was just here recently, I had a hard no. And I'm like, and of course, then it's just like, well, why don't you want to come on the show? What did I do wrong? You start thinking of that shit. But
Oh yeah.
I thought your earmuffs was Beanie Baby. Stoner Bear.
Yeah.
Almost 35, so Beanie Baby would be fitting. But no, it's just like, yeah, when I first got that hard no, I've always got the ones that's like, I can't do it right now, I have time, I need this, and I'm pretty flexible with my time. I can usually schedule on my channel, I can schedule it just about any time. So if I can't get you on here, I can more than likely get you, on my channel. But Dr. Outlaw, thank you for the follow. Welcome to Get Wet. Towels are in the back. And if you don't have a swimsuit, I think we got a place for those to jump in the pool.
Yep.
But no, it's just like, yeah, it's just like, just keep pushing. And I agree with you 100%. Flood your name. Do it, don't let people forget you.
Right.
Don't be annoying, don't be like, but like he was doing with the screenshots, that was helping the developer out. So, but don't get into somebody's Twitter and said, hey, recognize me. Don't do that kind of stuff. You still have your first, I never had a Beanie Baby. I'm so left out of that realm. I know what a Beanie Baby is, but I take that back.
It's like the meanie babies.
Yeah. It doesn't matter now. I used to have, when I got my Techni chair, they sent me a little stuffed unicorn. Did you get a stuffed unicorn when you buy one? And I was so proud of that thing. And somehow my my new puppy got a hold of it. Yeah, it's I don't know where it disappeared to. But I know when I found it, it was all dirty because she took it outside and wallered it in the dirt. I'm like, really? The reason why she's locked out of my room now. But no, it's just like, yeah, you just get yourself out there. And just like he said, never take no for an answer. Unless it's a hard no. I mean, you can tell when it's a hard no.
Yeah. I mean, you'll know when it's no.
Yeah, if you can, get in there, and that's probably the reason why I couldn't get to the site. If you guys are experiencing downtime with the GetWetSports site website, just give it a little bit. We're working on that right now because we found out that with all the voting and everything else, it does bog the server down a little bit. So I think with the voting situation, I think we're actually going to turn a different direction. I believe what we were talking about earlier is from all future votings, we're going to start using Twitter. Just for the fact because we just can't. There was so many people voting that it's just drawing the server down. So if you guys are having issues getting onto the website, just give it a few and then just keep trying. Silent Killer with the Prime. Oh my dude, you know what? People, I love it when people use Prime on anything when they subscribe with their Prime because you know what? You get one free sub a month, and you use that sub for that one channel. That is, I don't know, to me that's amazing that you use that one free sub. I guess it's really not free because if you're Prime you pay $15 a month for it, but still that one Prime that you could use on the thousands of creators that are out there, you use it on that one person. So we appreciate you, Silent Killer. Thank you for your Prime. You still have your unicorn from Techni. You guys got my love this month. I appreciate it, my dude. I mean, I'm sure I could probably call Michelle. I could probably get Michelle up on the Discord and she'll probably send me another one, but I don't think that works. Some of those commands don't work. Sorry. We're still trying to figure everything else out. But no, I appreciate that. But yeah, like he said, don't take no for an answer. Get your name out there. Been over 2 years. Nice. I was gonna say you can just ask for a unicorn due to puppy damage. Yeah, I'm sure. Like I said, Michelle's in charge of all that stuff, so I'm sure if I get a hold of her, I probably could. Techni's the only one. I mean, I'm not promoting Techni, but I do because Techni is the only company as an affiliate that doesn't treat me as an affiliate. So we're almost one day from joining the library as well. I swear I'm almost one day from. You haven't joined the library? What? You're not in the library? Yeah, you are. I don't know. I can't get in the website right now. You better get in here if you're not. I'm pretty sure I've seen your name. You've been around before. No. Oh. Okay, I got you. That's what I thought. It's like I've seen his name in here for quite a while since I've been here. But yeah, I mean, Techni, you know, that's one thing with the, like, sponsorships and stuff like that. It's like, as a new streamer, be careful where you get into. Oh, you've been around since they first started. Yeah, that's been about 2 years. You've been on Twitch for 3 years now. Sweet. Well, happy 3-year anniversary. If you can hang out on this platform for that long. But yeah. Well, anyways, we'll wrap this up. Basically at the end of every show, I do a thing called rapid fire. I used to have 20 questions, but they got to the point to where I couldn't find like 20 good questions without repeating them all the time. So, this is your 2-year partner anniversary for Mixer. Is it really? Well, happy rest in peace, Mixer partner anniversary. Rapid fire. Yeah. So what I do basically, it's like 10 questions. Just kind of funny. Just whatever pops into your head. Doesn't matter. You can take time to listen. You can take time to figure it out. It's not like, but yeah, the first thing that pops in your head, just kind of fire them out. Okay. So whenever you're ready, let me know.
Let her rip.
All right. Number 1, if you had to be a Disney character, which would it be?
Ooh, a Disney character, huh? Flynn Rider.
Flynn Rider. Ooh, I haven't heard that one in a long time. Are you into Harry Potter at all?
No.
Oh, okay. I'll skip that one then. What animal would you be in another life?
What animal would I be in another life?
Yeah.
This is a.
Jafar.
You know what? Honestly, probably a dash hound.
A dachshund?
Mm-hmm.
Why a dachshund?
Because I have two, and they're just about as happy as I am.
Nothing bothers them, do they?
Yeah, there's like, oh, I'm here to love you.
Tay says she's a sloth. You're not a sloth. Some days today I felt like a sloth. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing, what would it be?
Ooh, an unlimited supply of one thing. I'm gonna be the materialistic weasel here and say money.
Money. Show me the money. If your life was a story, what would it be titled?
If my life was a story, what would it be titled? Oh my gosh. These are the games of our lives.
These are the games of our lives. Oh, the laugh cannot be good. I like that one though. What one thing is just the cutest?
What one thing is just the cutest?
Mm-hmm.
You know, rapid fire should be easy. I'm gonna say I'll say my daughter.
Daughter? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What one thing is the ugliest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, one thing is the ugliest thing. Our government.
All right. What is the most interesting thing? What is the most interesting thing in your wallet?
The most interesting thing in my wallet. I don't even know what's in my wallet. Probably the photo on my driver's license.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
I have a $2 bill that I have moved from wallet to wallet it's been with me since 2003. I've had the same.
I never keep money in my wallet.
Well, that's the only thing that's in that's the only piece that when people want to rob me, they're just going to get a $2 bill that probably will crumble apart when they try to undo it. I got it from a friend of mine and just never, I don't know, I just thought it was cool. Just folded it up and stuck it in there. It was a brand new one when I got it. Taste as a business card from Doggy Style and an old hot dog joint was a slogan. Hot buns and tasty wieners. What's your favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? That's a tie between Halloween and Christmas.
Oh. Why is it a tie? What do you like Halloween so much?
Well, I mean, Halloween I like because I can go out and decorate, and be creative.
Okay.
And I also get to hand out candy to strangers and eat a lot of that candy as well.
You get to hand out what's
and
left.
Of course, Christmas, I get to decorate there too and be creative, but I also get presents.
There you go. What's your favorite pizza topping?
Favorite pizza topping? Pepperoni.
Nice. And for number 10, let me get a good one here. What chore do you absolutely despise doing?
I would say the dishes or the laundry. I think it's the tie there too.
Well, see, I'm not allowed to do laundry, so mine would have to be dishes. My wife don't let me touch the washer. She doesn't like the way I do laundry.
Yeah,
It's like it all goes in at one time. Drives her crazy.
luckily we've both kind of pawned the chores off onto the kids, so the son does the dishes and my daughter does the laundry. So
Sweet. Well, if you guys don't have anything else for him, any comments, any questions, anything you wanted to talk about, business. I like that from Doggy Style, an old hot dog joint whose slogan was "Hot buns and tasty wieners." Where was that at, Tay?
I think I've heard of that.
We used to have a Chinese restaurant back home in the neighboring town called Fuck You. It was FUKYO, I think. Cabo San Lucas.
There was a place over in I think it was over in Saudi Arabia. Spelled FUGGETS. Pronounced Fuggets.
Fuggets.
And they had shawarma and stuff there. It's just like,
yeah, when you came off the highway into this town, the sign was on the back of the building, and that's the first thing you seen every time you came in was "fuck you." I always wanted to call there to see if they actually answered the phone that way.
there's a place over here, like in a town over called Lucky House, and I called over there to order something one time, and they asked me who it was for, and I said, "Oh, it's for Rick," and they asked me to spell my name. I was like, "It's a 4-letter word, Rick. How do you think it's spelled?" And but I didn't say. Of course, I spelled it for him, and my boss was standing next to me. And when they spelled my name, he looked at me. He's like, "Really?"
Oh Lord. Well, they got to type that in. Wait a minute. R-I. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Thumper, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you for taking time out to do this.
No problem. It was fun.
Yeah. Got a lot of deep conversation going, and I love doing that, kind of spice things up a little bit, and learned a lot about you. Like I said, we definitely have to get some people in, and maybe, like I said, I know I have Saturday nights blocked out for community night.
Yep.
So that's one thing I've been trying to figure out what to do. But definitely, if you guys want to, if anybody in the chat wants to get down Ms. Murder, anybody wants to get down for some Sea of Thieves. Shadow, I know, don't you play Sea of Thieves also?
Yeah, let us know.
But we can make a night of it, and I don't know, we'll figure something out. We'll make a meme night. We'll do something. We'll play the game, but we'll have a meme. I always wanted to do a meme. I seen somebody do a meme COD tournament one time, and it was so hilarious. You could only use riot shields and landmines or something like that. It was just so fun. Watching all these hardcore COD players sitting there can only use the two things that people hate the most, riot shields and landmines. I have a link to a meme game you can play online. Oh, cool. Over the boat as the sea cops. Say, yeah.
We did that one night. we did that one night. We were we had just dropped off some stuff at the best outpost in the game, which we all know is Daggertooth. We just left there after cashing in. and we saw this brig coming in. So it was going around the backside of the outpost. So we just kind of followed it on around, and we were hollering at them, "Hey, pull over! Police! We need to search for contraband." And so they went in, and brilliant players. Let me just tell you. So like the outpost is here. They pulled a boat in like this, right? So we pulled up behind them like this. So we're behind them. Okay, they just pulled up, and we pull up behind them, drop the anchor, and we're just going to have fun with them. Okay, well, the first thing they do is they take a shot at us, and they kill my buddy. So I'm like, okay, we're completely out of your firing arc. You have a ship full of loot, and I'm in the perfect position to sink you. What was I to do? So I was like, okay, you want to play that game? Boom! And I killed off the first two shots. I took out the two guys that were on the ship, took the mast down, and then just unloaded. And went after they sank and all the stuff come floating up to the surface. I mean, they had a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, okay, it's payday again. So we just took it, cashed it in. And that was the second time it's happened to us there. There was one time we went there, and a sloop pulled up. We were in a brig. Sloop pulled up, chock full of stuff. And rather than, like leaving us alone like they should have, no, they picked a fight with us. And they were packed and loaded. So again, we sunk them and took their stuff and cashed it in. So, maybe if you don't want to get sunk in Sea of Thieves, maybe don't fire that first shot.
Yeah. Yeah, we're always the past. What is it? We're always the ones that sit there and say, "Hey, we're just coming by."
Yeah.
But no, too bad. That I wonder why they don't. We need to get onto the devs about it and make a custom game for Sea of Thieves, to where you can go in and do customs. That way you can have, your own kind of fun like that, to where you can just have a bunch of people playing.
Well, I don't know if it's completely in there or not, but I know they started to where you could make your own custom server. I think you have to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
But the only thing is you don't earn any kind of reputation. You don't, none of it would transfer over either. But if it would be your server to for you to set up however you wanted.
Oh, I'm going to look into that, because that would be pretty cool if we could get get everybody together, 4 or 5 boats in there, and just kind of I don't know, figure something out.
Yep.
It's just there's one thing I want to do too, is it's trying to get one of the tournament ideas I had for the COD side was to where you can only use fists only. So, Unpluggable. Thank you for the follow. How you doing? Welcome to Get Wet.
Welcome.
One of these nights, I'm going to bring some people on, and we're going to talk about people's names. I love to figure out how'd you get your name? Oh, you already told me, but tell them how you got your name.
Okay, so a long time ago, when I was in the service, I was in a station in Germany. I was very involved with the church, the chapel on base, and some missionaries that were also overseas there as well, that also worked with the chapel on base. And my good buddy, his name was Yogi, so this is a guy to talk. Anyway, he was always, razzing me about going to church and stuff. He's like, and anytime he asked me if I was going to church, he was always like, "So, you going thumping tonight?" And he started calling me Thumper Boy. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Thumper Boy?" So that's where the Thumper Boy portion of it comes from, because he was always, and I always heard that, and I thought, well, and I've had a lot of people tell me now, they just like, "Man, that wasn't really nice. He shouldn't have said that. That's mean." And I'm like, look, we were in the military, and if you said something nice to your friend in the military, that means they hated you. So the fact that he was being mean means he loved me. It's just a fact. I don't make the
Yep.
rules. I just follow them.
Yep.
But so I mean, it was really a term of endearment, you know, that one man says to another person, you know, like so. The AD portion of it is a reference to my old username, which was Athlon Dude. I got that name. I worked at a computer company for a while, and when the new brand of AMD processors came out named Athlons, I was the first one to get one, so they were always calling me. It's like, "Yo, what's up, Athlon Dude or Athlon Man?" And that's where that came from. So I just kind of combined the two, and you know, it has a dual meaning because it also, aside from the fact that it's, you know, an acronym for Athlon Dude, it also means after dude. You know.
Okay.
So.
No. Yeah, I love finding out people's names, especially if they have a personal connection. I think
Right.
I think Care Bear Gaming, she posted in Twitter. She posted in Twitter. I think it was yesterday or the day before. You know, tell me what your name meant. So that was pretty cool to see all those people's, you know, what the relationship was to their names and stuff.
Right.
But
I've seen some odd ones. There was one match where we were all playing in COD. The guy who came in and saved the day, his name was Hot Dog Water.
hot dog water.
Yeah. And then there's another guy that's on that I play games with on Steam occasionally. I really want to know the reasoning behind this, but his name is Crotch Wizard.
Oh.
So you know, curiosity is probably going to kill that cat, but there's just sheer morbid curiosity is probably going to get the better of me. It's like, okay, dude, I gotta know, you know, Crotch Wizard.
We might have to search that guy out and find out and bring him on the show.
Yeah.
And find out what his name is. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Crotch Wizard.
Yep. I was giving him a hard time. It's like, can I change my name to Nugget Master? I mean, come on.
Oh. Yeah, but that's something I've been working on. You know, I might do that one of these nights when I don't have anything else to do, if that ever comes about. Is just kind of set something. I was like, hey, if you want to tell me what your name is, jump in the Discord and let's go. But I'm gonna let you get out of here, and
All right.
thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. Thanks for all the follows and everything tonight. And Silent Killer, again, thank you for using your Prime on us this year. But I appreciate you. And I think we're going to go raid Miss Hellfire. She is playing, because I can't get into the site. So that's the only person I've seen that is a premium member that is online right now. But we're going to go raid Miss Hellfire. She's playing Phasmophobia, as she always is. It's kind of funny because I've known Miss Hellfire for a little while now, and she's not a scary game person, but she's made her streaming career off of scary games. So I'm really glad to see her progressing as she does too. So, but she's really enjoying it. She is leader of the Brown Pant Brigade. So, she's a real cool gal. She's fun. She's fun, and it'll probably shock her when she gets raided. So y'all have fun with her. But when we do raid, we raid for the streamer. We don't raid for us or the channel. So make sure you just go give them some love and say hi. And if you like what they're doing, give them a follow. And if you really like what they're doing, there's always that other purple button over there. So, but we're gonna call it a night for tonight, and we will hopefully see you next. I'm still working on next Tuesday night's guest. And plus I'm also working on possibly a Saturday night. If I can't find one on Saturday night, we might just pull up and see if anybody wants to play Sea of Thieves. But you guys have a good rest of your night, and this is Tuesday, so have a good rest of your week, and we will see you guys around on socials. But
all right.
We're gonna go raid Miss Hellfire, and we're starting now. I always love the countdown. It's like I always forget there's a countdown. But you guys have a good night, and like I said, I appreciate you guys for being here. And as always, get wet. Make sure if you guys haven't followed us on the library and everything else, make sure you get us over there. But we're gonna go raid Miss Hellfire right now. So you guys have a good night. Later, all.